Need your carpets or upholstery cleaned fast? Whether it's a spring clean, bond clean, or just wear and tear from the pets and kids, Be Clean NQ is your premier quality carpet, upholstery, rug and mattress cleaning service. They'll go above and beyond to guarantee the best job at the best price. And they're 100% locally owned and operated. Have a chat to the busy bees at Be Clean NQ today. Go to beeclean.com.au because they're not happy until you are.
Well, we've made it 2 games straight. Can we go for 3 against the Chooks with 6 players gone for Origin? Welcome to On the Ranch. Yes, On the Ranch, episode 168. All thanks to Malones, Irish pub. Get on down, have a steak, crumb steak, or a cob loaf. Those cob loaves go off. I'm XR Bob on X. There's no relation there. Morgan Holmes Evans sitting across from me.
Hello everyone, how's it going?
Wonderful. I'll answer for everybody else.
I'm quickly refreshing my email, just waiting to see if I can get a run on this week. With all the players being out.
We never know.
I did a quick 20-minute jog today. I was sore.
Oh, your face is still red.
Legit, it was not good. I went portion control at dinner tonight. I'm back in the gym.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Yeah. Also back in the gym.
Yeah.
One pistol blazing. Well, just pistols now.
Just pistols, yeah. No good.
No
My
two
MCL's
guns.
still... I could probably start running again now, but...
Your MCL's that bad, it's affecting your biceps.
Yeah, well, I've always said that you want to train everything all over, and if you can't focus on one part of your body, then, well...
You'd have one...
I'm in off-season at the moment.
Yeah, right.
I should be right come SummerSlam.
One bicep larger than the other, thanks
Stop it.
to lifting a pannikin all weekend for the last 2 weeks. I noticed you got a pannikin here tonight, too.
I do.
Cup of tea in this one?
Mate, I've always said, after Magic Round, I've always said that drinking out of a pannikin at the footy is one of the greatest implement that you can have. It makes the rum taste so much better.
I'm sure it does.
I was getting around the leagues club on Friday night with it. A couple of people, what the fuck are you drinking out of? It's just to bring your own cup to a place, is it?
All weekend in Magic, he's just carrying around his panic and just wandering around having a nice little rum in it.
Well, starting a trend.
Yeah. Buy a couple of rums at the bar, pour them in, so it's all legal. I'm not getting them to make it out of there. It's just...
It is very homely, I must admit.
Yeah.
It's good.
That's a word.
He walks down the stairs carrying them.
You have a handle.
It's ridiculous.
No doubt.
Yeah.
We might stay tuned. We might have on the ranch panicking if this keeps up.
Don't give it away just
shit,
yet.
okay,
We've got to negotiate a little bit more before we get those out in public. We've got to get a better shipping rate yet.
Yeah.
We're working on it.
Turns out shipping pannikins is not cheap.
No.
Who would have thought?
We've got a bloke here that might help us with this.
Yes. Speaking of, Cowboys media manager Ben Lonergan, welcome to the table.
Thanks for having me, boys. And I did see him getting around the Leagues Club with that on
Friday.
I think he did offer me a little sip out of it as well, but it wasn't late enough to be sharing drinks with him. So I can vouch, though, that I did see him getting around the Leagues Club with that. It was impressive. I liked it.
He does.
It was a rum-sponsored one, a Bundaberg one too, for that matter.
Yeah, perfect. And same one you had at Magic Round, I believe.
Yeah. That's where I found it.
That's where you found it.
He had to do a trade
Yeah.
with some Manly fans.
So you got that from the ground?
From the ground, yeah. So a couple of Manly fans had one of their mates got into the Bundaberg box, and so they got a show bag.
It looked fun up there.
It looked real good, yeah. They got a little tote bag, and one of them, it had a cup and a stubby cooler in it. He said, I'm not going to have this. You can have it. Oh, here's a drink. I'll take your cup. So the rest of the weekend was drinking out of it. Drank out of it all Friday night at the game, and we were on a 5-game losing streak now. Until Magic Round and the panic and power, we haven't lost a game yet.
Well, don't wash it either. That's got to stay like that.
Right, okay. Sure.
Take any luck we can get.
Yeah. The other one does have some nibbles in it.
No, it's
a little dented.
dented.
Yeah.
Might
He had a
might
rough
have-
night.
Might have met the pathway a couple of times.
Yeah.
And a few stairs.
Doing the video for us tonight is Billy.
Hey, Billy.
Hanging out down the end. He's off camera and off mic tonight. We'll spring for a new mic one day so he can... just a shrug. He doesn't care. That's all good. All right. So, yeah, 26 minutes of Patreon chat tonight. If you go to patreon.com, search for On the Ranch NQ, sign up, you get a whole bunch of extras. And one of those extras, about half an hour a week, sometimes 40 minutes, sometimes longer. Sometimes you can't shut us up.
Yep.
It goes on a bit far.
I thought the whole episode tonight was just going to be
Oh,
Patreon. There's some good inside stories from Benny on there.
there are so far.
Good.
Yeah. No doubt. Many, many more that he can't tell.
Plenty. It's a footy club. You have a lot of fun over the years, but yeah, it's a great club. Good fun, good social club.
You said before you came up in 2018, was it?
Yeah, 2018. I was in Sydney as a journo for Big League magazine, mainly. So I did 2 years covering the NRL. Is that, and I just remember my first couple of games. I was down there and I looked at the girls are doing my equivalent job, and I thought that'd be fun. Like, I grew up in footy. My old man was a life member of the footy club in Tamworth, where I grew up before I went to Glen Innes. It's been all, I was on the committee as soon as I could be, and so I see, like, footy's been, and being involved in a club has been always part of my life, and I thought that'd be a good way to get into it and do it for a living. Yeah, never thought too much of it until bloke who was doing the exact same job as me. We were having Indian feed in Surrey Hills for lunch one day, and he said, "Oh, did you hear Clayton Smiles is leaving up in North Queensland?" I said, "No, I didn't," and went home that night, applied for the job. It was shutting the next day, and I was driving to Canberra for a media opportunity with the Raiders a week or two later, and number came up from Townsville, and it was lucky. So yeah, did a couple of interviews. Second one was with Greenie and Parry. It was horrifying. Greenie sat there for about an hour and a half and didn't move a muscle, didn't show any emotion, which I asked him about later on down the track, and he said it was all, all an act, all part of it to see what would go on. But yeah, did a couple of interviews and got the job and going on 7 seasons now. So
how tough is that when your audience isn't giving you anything back?
It was awful, and I had been to one of my best mates. He lives here now. His Bucks party in the Gold Coast the weekend, and then the interview was on must have been the Monday. So I've come back Sunday, and I've told this story to everyone at work, but I wasn't the freshest, and went straight into that with Greenie, Peter Parr, and then Jackie James Eggins, who was my boss when I first came up here, and it was horrible. He just Papari was great. He was his normal sort of bubbly, laughing self, and Jackie, she was pretty full on. But then Greenie, he asked a couple of questions, but he didn't nod, he didn't move his head, he didn't smile, he didn't frown, he just didn't do anything. And I remember we're at the Watermark. Can't remember whether it was that season or the next one after, and I asked him about it, and he goes, "No, that's all part of the plan." He goes, "It's a job where you got to think on your feet, and you're under pressure, and you got to, not be willing to sort of, give anything." And so that was all part of it. And he goes, "I thought you did well." I'm like, "Oh, you could have said that at the end of the year." He didn't give me anything for about an hour. It went for about an hour and a half. It was awful.
Oh, that'd be torture.
But you
got on well with him.
Really well.
He
was really kind to me, Greenie. He, I don't know what it's like now with a lot of other guys, but I wouldn't say the media manager job's always an inner sanctum, inner circle type job. You're sort of you can be on the outside looking in a bit, but I never felt that. And Toddy was part of that as well because he was an assistant coach and took me under his wing. But Greenie was awesome. He we shared the same interests. We liked a beer and, we liked to punt and, loved our footy and that sort of stuff. And, I don't mind a debate either. So Greenie was always up for hot debate. But, he was awesome to me and I learned a lot from him and he was really kind to me. Yeah, he was awesome.
Yeah, that's good. What made you go towards media rather than, you said football's always part of your life. Did you ever play?
Just played it at home. Shout out Glen Innes Magpies. Just played it. Well, I went to boarding school in Tamworth, which is a good footy school called Farrer. I played growing up there, and then I went straight back to Glen Innes, and I had a year off. I actually worked for my old man as a greenkeeper, and then had deferred uni in the hometown paper. Had offered, so yeah, had been accepted into university to do journalism. I always thought being a sport journo, if you're not good enough to play it for a living, you may as well write about it. So I was, English, I wasn't good at much else at school other than writing, so that was a good in. And I got into uni and then went back and did a year working for the old man. And then the editor of the hometown paper gave me a call and said, "We'll pay for your uni if you want to come work for us." So I did my cadetship, it was called, over 3 years working for the mighty Glen Innes Examiner. And then, just went from there.
Yeah, all right. Very good. And then from there, you worked for...
So I went overseas after my cadetship for just a few months, just went on a trip with a mate. That was good fun all through Europe. And then I came back and I worked for a bigger paper. It's 100 k's south of Glen Innes called... the town's called Armdale, the Armdale Express. It's sort of in between Tamworth and Armidale for anyone that knows that. Tamworth and Glen Innes, sorry. It's freezing, yeah. And so it's, I don't know, they might have 30,000 people, 20 odd, so it was a bit bigger. And then I went straight from there to News Corp in Sydney.
Wow.
Yeah, so that was a big eye-opener because I was still living in Glen Innes, driving 100 k's each way to work every day.
Yep.
I had intended to move down there and just never did. I liked Glen Innes, so I was still playing footy there every weekend and cricket in the off-season, and I just never got around to it, to be honest. And living at mum and dad's rent-free, still then at 23, 24, so that was a good time. And
take it while you can.
Yeah, and then went from there to Sydney in 2016, started 2016.
Yeah, right.
Just as the NRL season started that year, yeah.
Just with that, the News Corp you're working with, did you have a fuel card? 100 k's.
No, so that
200 a day.
So that was with Fairfax back in the day. They own. Well, I don't think they own all those little papers anymore, but they own Fairfax. That owned Sydney Morning Herald. Owned basically every little paper in New South Wales pretty well, and I think throughout Queensland and stuff. But no, I didn't. Fuel wasn't as expensive back then, but that was about my only expense, that and going to the pub on the weekend. So I just copped it.
Driving
it was,
Townsville to Ingham just to do a job and then back again each day is a bit of a stretch.
Yeah, it was 100 k's, just over an hour on the dot. Like it's basically a highway the whole way. Yeah. Might be 5 minutes driving through Armdale to get to work and back, but no fuel card. But I admittedly didn't have any other expenses. I wasn't paying rent. Mum and dad were cooking dinner, and I probably should have slung them a couple of bucks then.
Oh, look, that's worth driving for.
Yeah. So no, I was very lucky that they always gave me a good start, and they were massive help, massive encouragement, still are. So I was really lucky there.
Very good. At the Cowboys now, though, as media manager, so what is the media manager like?
Yeah.
What's a day?
So I guess probably there's two main parts to it. I would say I am the contact for any external media when they want to contact the club. So if that could be anything from a club statement about a topic or to interview a player or a coach, thing like that. So that's that part of it, and then the other half of it is putting out anything that we want to as a club into the public domain, like in media. So again, that could be a statement or a player signing or anything like that. Or on the other hand, when someone that we have is talking, lining that up, I would say that's only a small percentage of interviews these days that you're actually spending a lot of time prepping for and that sort of stuff. Like a normal midweek media session, I'll give the boys 2 or 3 points they might get asked on, but we're a club that likes to let them be at them and speak. So that's the main part of it. So a lot of it's on the phone, emails, like scheduling stuff, and then I look after all the player promos, like the sponsorship appearances and stuff as well. Just taking that on this year. So
when you say you're releasing player signings or announcing player signings, does the decision of when that happens, is that up to the player or their manager or the club? Or
no, we're a lot different to, I guess, the American landscape where the talent, if you will, announces where they're going. The clubs have...
I mean, can you just... The microphone... Yep. Yeah, sorry.
You're right. The club has... at this point, Jerome Luai, he did his own thing, but the club has full control over it. So we'll just, once the contract is signed and lodged, Lucky will let me know, and I'll have a chat to Nath that does our social media and our website, and we'll come out at the time. So I'll just normally send the player a text to say this is when we're doing it, and can you do a couple of interviews around it? And that's as complicated as it gets. It's more just waiting for them to sign the contract.
And that's good media management on that behalf. I could be wrong on this, but I think Tom Dearden had signed before the season even started or whatever, and or whenever it was, and then all Southern media is going, oh, Dearden might go here. I'm pretty sure he's already signed. It just hasn't come out yet. So is that great from the club when you look at someone like the Tigers that just release everything from the get-go?
We're quite lucky in the fact that, and again, you're not going to sit here and claim it all for your own, how well you do it, but I think a lot of it is where we're situated, and we are a little bit out of sight, out of mind, but we don't leak either.
Yeah.
So not much gets out from internal. So generally we're able to wait until we want to put something out. And then a lot of times too, when you see those things come out, like they might have agreed verbally, and then they have to sit there and, the finer parts of the contract and stuff, that can take another few weeks sometimes from, I'm not involved in that side of things, but you might hear from Lucky that, we're pretty much done with Tommy or whoever it is, but it won't be another couple of weeks before, sometimes with the bigger ones, especially before everything's lodged and you can put it out as well. So that's where some of the Sydney clubs and, other clubs that struggle with things getting out, why there's drags on so long. But generally, and we have, good relationship with the managers as well, that we can most of the time wait until, we'll announce as soon as it's done. It's just that doesn't always happen as quickly as you'd like.
Yeah.
And, it's people's livelihood, and it's an important decision for the club, and it's a massive decision for the players and their future. So sometimes the finer details are going to take a while to work out after they've agreed to the major stuff, I guess. So,
a good one in point that I think of is the Des Hasler to the Titans.
Yeah, they did a great job there.
And so and I look at us and we're pretty much the same, a bit biased because, like you said, there's no leaks. And that Titans one was, when that came out, every journo under their sun, how do we not know about this? So how is it that clubs are so, I wouldn't say stupid or something, but if you've got something that's a good thing and it's probably 90% sure, but it's not 100% over the line, why would that get released between the four walls and of that inner sanctum?
Well, I think a lot of the times
happen?
when that stuff comes out, like people will start probably talking internally. And again, I haven't been to any other club, so I don't know for a fact, but I'd imagine it's when they start talking like, oh, this is pretty much done. And then, they'll tell one person. And Pari always had a great saying was, as soon as 3 people know, it's not a secret.
Yep.
So you just, I guess, trying to keep it under wraps as much as possible until you're in a position to be able to put it out. And I think, I don't know, again, I haven't been anywhere else, but I think we do that well.
Yeah.
The people that will always let our staff know first, like that's super important as well. Like anyone that works for us needs to know what's going on. So it's not like we don't, they don't find out at the same time as everyone else. But, I think our club's pretty good at letting who needs to know at the right time and not sprouting off about it until it's done, I would say. Is how I think we're able to keep things under wrap until it's done. And we only do that because we don't want the circus that goes with it around that, this is done, but we're not putting it out and then it builds up over the next couple of weeks. You just, once it's done, you put it out and, it's good news and you talk about it then.
Yeah, there's no speculation. It's across the line. So stop talking about it and writing about it.
One thing I always try to remind people, especially internally, speculation's not always the worst thing either. Like if people want to be at your club, like that's not always bad news either.
Yeah.
So I don't get worked up around if there's stories going on that we've signed such and such or we're interested in such and stuff. It doesn't mean we have to speak about it either because, normally speaking openly about recruitment can be dangerous, but I don't get annoyed with it either because if people want to be, all being linked to your club or, they're saying they want to be there or they're talking about good coaches or players when you go to club, that's a good thing. And it's just that it's hard for a club to speak on it with any real authority until it's done.
It's when they start going down the line of maybe Jason Tamalolo's towards the end of his season, Cowboys are looking to offload him. You got to get ahead of that sort of thing?
Yeah, sometimes.
Chronic knee injuries and he's medically retiring and all that, like that'll give you headaches for weeks.
It's tricky because sometimes you want to get in front of it and then other times you don't. It's so ridiculous, you don't want to give it any more air. So you're just trying to find, and I'll just, when that happens, we'll just get together and have a discussion, whether it might be me, Lucky, Ribes, Toddy sometimes if he wants to be, Jackie, who's our head of marketing, and we'll just have a conversation about what we think's the best course of action. Sometimes we're getting in front of it. Sometimes it'll be just don't give that rubbish any more air and it'll go away. And at the end of the day, the best saying in the club and, in rugby league is if you want it to go away, start winning games. And that's what you should be focusing all your energy on rather than jumping at shadows as well. So you just make a decision about what's the best course of action and then get on with it.
It's funny how JT comes out and actually plays a great game. It was the last week or the week before, the last couple of weeks after all that as well.
He's going great, yeah. It's been awesome. See how he goes the last few weeks, and like he doesn't get the credit he should. He's like, he's up there with the Matt Scotts and the Coopses for as tough as I've ever seen. Yeah. What his ability to play through pain and to play when other blokes won't is unbelievable. Yeah. He's like he'll go down as one of the best and most talented and most powerful to ever do it. But his toughness is as good an attribute he's got as any. He's unbelievable, that bloke. What he is able to put his body through is second to none.
Have we had a 300 game clubman? I don't think we have. Had we? Thurston would have gotten close.
I think and don't quote me on this, I should know this number. It's 294 or 295. I'm pretty sure. So he was just short.
So a fit Taumalo though over the next couple of seasons.
Yeah, well, he's past 250 now. So
you get life membership for 200. Is there any special thing for 300? Obviously, it hasn't happened yet.
Know. So I don't know. Like we've only got a handful of people in our Hall of Fame. Like he'll obviously be in there one day. So I don't know, but no, the 200 is the.
294.
Yeah,
get another statue.
What's Taumalo though?
Yeah, 300's got to be a statue, right?
Yeah,
well, you'd think so for sure.
But fingers crossed he gets there, and he certainly had a new lease on life the last couple of weeks. Like it's looks like he's really built into the season well. He's been great last few weeks.
Coming off the bench has been great for him. It annoys me when you get people going, he's worth $1 million, he's got to be playing 70 minutes, mate. If you can get 50 to 60 out of that, like you're not looking at anyone else in the other clubs that are doing it. So I think
it's not too much use looking about what, I guess it's what he's worth when he signs.
That's right, 100%.
After that,
264. Wow,
yeah. So if he stays fit the next couple of years, I'd love to see him get there. He's a champion.
Beauty. Do you look after the women as well?
Yep. Yeah, that's been great. It's been a lot of fun. They're really keen, and they're keen to build their own brand and to build the brand of the club, and basically, and our boys are great too. I'm not sitting here saying that they, I have too much issue with them doing things, but you ask one of the girls to do something, and they know that it's for a reason, and they'll just jump in and do it straight away. They've been awesome.
I've noticed their crowd interaction. Like after I've been to one or two of their games last year, and they'll hang around till the sun's down. Like that they understand the importance of engaging the crowd.
Yeah. They're great too. And we had the Cutters girls win on the weekend, which is great.
Yep.
Have you been reading our run sheet?
That was great. Hopefully they start Saturday. Our girls, so it's almost here.
Indeed, looking forward to it. Who would you say then, out of the guys and the girls as well, who the media tarts are, I suppose? Who's keen to get in front of the camera and probably who's not, I suppose?
Well, Chatty wants to do it after he finishes, so he doesn't text me looking for, and none of them do, looking for work, but he's always. He been here for 3 seasons now. I don't know. I can remember him saying no once or twice because it might have been, he's putting the kids to bed or something.
Yeah.
He's probably the most keen because that's what he wants to do. After Kira Dibb's awesome. She's as good a speaker as I've been around since I've been in the club. She's a great speaker. I hope she goes down something to use that skill set after she finishes playing because she's as good as anyone, male or female, since I've been in the club. She's outstanding.
Yeah, awesome. And then, so are there any, say, looking for an interview?
He can ask it.
and they'll go, no, I don't really want to.
Yeah, there's a handful. And
you don't have to name names.
Oh, I don't think there's any secret, and he wouldn't have any issue. Jace doesn't enjoy it; he never has.
Yep.
He's a really good chat when he gets there. He just doesn't particularly enjoy doing it. He doesn't, really have any interest in the, that side of things after footy, or, he'll fulfil his commitments where he needs to, and we've got a good relationship. If I ask him to do something, he'll generally do it because he knows need to. But if it's, I tend to, if he's don't find he's interested, he's probably one. But the rest of them are good. They'll. I'm really lucky with the group we have that they're awesome. They'll pretty well do if I ask them to do something. They'll know I'm not asking them for no reason. It's important to us, and they'll do it. Yeah, pretty lucky in that regard.
So Chad Townsend, just write that name down there, Rob.
Yeah, no worries.
Do you sort of do a bit of an evaluation when you sign a player and see how they go in front of a camera and speaking and all that sort of
Normally
stuff?
just a call to the media manager from another club because we all know each other.
Yep.
To say, hey, how such and such talk, or if it's a well-known player, you'll know how they go. If it's a younger kid, you'll put a little bit of work into them. And when I say that, I don't have too much interest in polishing their speaking or anything like that because I don't find that works straight away.
Yep.
That you just get them, work out how to get them comfortable in front of a microphone, and then they all know how to talk footy, and that'll improve from there. But generally, just I'll ring whoever it is and say, "Oh, how's old mate speak?" And you end up having a yarn, and it's good. But yeah,
it seems like everybody these days is they're doing the TikToks, and they used to be in front of a camera and speaking. So do you find that the younger sort of generation are sort of more ready to sort of do that sort of thing?
I do, yeah. 100%. I must say, I wouldn't know. I shouldn't say that one. I had an example today, Jamal Shibasaki, and I actually was like, well, this is not good for me, but I couldn't remember hearing him speak in front of camera. And I remember speaking to him about it once in the pre-season to see if he'd do midweek media, and he said, I don't think I'll go very well. And he was great. Yeah, outstanding. Right. And I think it's went on our website today, and I didn't know what to expect from him. But again, he's the TikTok generation, that sort of stuff. And I do find because they've been on their own cameras and that sort of stuff growing up, they're much more comfortable now standing in front of journos and a camera, definitely.
Yeah. And that makes your job easier overall, or maybe harder?
Yeah, unless they're too confident. But our club doesn't really have too much issue with that, I find. The large chunk of our players are humble country lads. And the culture of that is built from the top down. So if they do come in a little bit cocky, it doesn't last very long.
Yeah. Yep.
So no, it's a big help.
Toddy mentioned that a few years ago. He's got a no dickhead policy, basically. So
I think you can see that with what him and Lucky have done with the the players that they sign. Being a good bloke's just as important as being a good player.
Yeah.
And I can't speak highly enough of our squad. They are just 30 odd of the really good young blokes. We're really blessed in that regard. They're good. Doesn't
hurt that they're quite talented as well.
Yeah, and we've got a huge amount of talent coming through, and they're all good kids. So that's we're in a good spot in that regard.
That is one that comes to mind too. So you do look after the 30 main guys, but do you also look after the pride guys and that?
No, the main thing is our top 30, and then we'll have 5 on the development list contracts, which mean they train full time and can play after a certain time as well. And then we might have 2. I think we've got 2 guys this year that are. They're called trainer replacement contracts. So I think we're running with a squad of about 37.
Yep.
So they're the ones that are there every day generally, the ones that look after. I don't have anything day-to-day to do with the Pride or the Cutters. They run their own shows. They do a great job, both those clubs. They're really well run. And then I guess the young guns, if I get an interview request from their hometown or something like that, would be about it. But if I know one's coming up, I'll have a bit of a chat to them, a bit of a see how they go with all that sort of stuff. Or if we get one, they go, "Oh, he can play." I'll generally try and get a bit of work into them before they get getting them comfortable talking. I'm not going to tell them what to talk about footy because they know better than me.
Yep.
It's just so they're not twitching and giving 2-word answers, just so they're comfortable to stand up there and answer the question.
And we want to see that personality come through as well. Like, you don't want everyone to just give the standard answer and, next one day at a time. Like, you want to see that personality of each individual player come through.
Try to do that.
Yeah.
Well, we try to encourage that as well. And even with our older blokes, try to, someone like Murray Taulungi's taken a long time because he's a lot of fun.
He looked nervous as shit after the game at the Leagues Club when Toddy called him
but
up.
It's taken him, he's played for Queensland and Australia. I'm trying to remember, what did he make his debut 2019? Like, he's been around a long time. And I'd say it's only the last 12 months he's got comfortable in front of a camera to be his cheeky self. And I've sort of been into him the whole time. Like, you don't have to be so serious. There's a time for that. But generally, if something big's going on, we'll put up the captains or Ribes or Lucky. The rest of us just talking footy. Like, you shouldn't be scared about that. Running into Hargraves on the weekend, that's scary. Talking to 3 or 4 journos up here in North Queensland, that's not. You're there to talk footy and, other things that are going on. So we try and encourage them just to be themselves.
Do you incorporate like Toastmasters and courses like that to watch their ums and ahs and to get them feeling good? I've
been there 7 years now, gone down a number of different paths. The one that's worked the best is getting them to work with ex-players.
Yeah.
So Chooks and Ray Thompson are probably the two I've had that have had the most success. Like, we've tried media training courses or me doing it with them or whoever it is. They will take the most out of speaking to blokes that have been there and done it. And I find the ums and the ahs and all that stuff go away as soon as they get comfortable. So I don't spend a lot of time on that. I spend time getting them comfortable, walking up there, not being nervous. And I've had the most success with the ex-players talking to them about that.
Yeah.
Well, Ray and Coops would be ideal since...
Yeah, well, Coops is, he's the best of the best and he's doing a wonderful job for us at the club now as well. Yeah. But he was a great speaker. And then I think Ray is also in a really good position to teach them as well, because if you speak to Ray, that wasn't always natural for him. And he was a bit of a nervous young fella at times in front of camera or microphone. I don't know if you've ever seen him present, but he's phenomenal.
Yeah, so he's been on once or twice here as well. Yeah,
he's awesome.
Great.
So that's where I've had the most success with the younger boys, is with the ex-players, teaching them the do's and the don'ts, and how to be better at it.
How to structure a sentence, how to structure a conversation, a middle of the body, all that sort of stuff.
Like Coops, and I would say the one that improved most would be Tommy Dearden. Like, when he first came up here in 2021, I'll never forget his first press conference. It was in we're in the bubble, and it was in one of the buildings, and basically we could have a cameraman in there with a mask on and thing, and then the presser was by Zoom, and he could barely string
sweating bullets.
He could barely string 2 words together, and then he did a lot of work with Coops. And Tommy always says the best thing that Coops ever taught him was, when you finished your thought, just shut up. And you'll notice when Tommy speaks now, he's quite short he's a sentence or two, but what he says carries a lot of weight. He doesn't ramble, and he reckons that was the light bulb moment for him, that obviously playing better footy helps and you get more comfortable. But he said to me that was something that Coops spoke to him about, and that resonated with him, and he feels much more comfortable now as well. And he's a great speaker now, Tommy. He's different to a lot of others. He's certainly different to Coops. Coops speaks forever. His life membership speech is still going. So
he's outstanding. He was up in the box. I got invited into the RGM guys. Shout out to Greg up there, and had all the time of the day. It wasn't just a quick 2-minute float. And I think he watched almost the whole second half with us. And there's a young boy Hayden there, and he's met him a few times and just could talk to anyone and was outstanding value too.
He was always going to be successful in whatever he did. I'm just glad it's for us. It's good to have him there. Yeah, he's doing a great job.
Just take note of that part, Pete, where when you finished your thought, you shut up.
Yeah. The old classic rambler.
Moving on, we might have a look at the game that was on the weekend versus the Tigers. We had a couple of pre-game guesses like we do now, and it was good to see a few people jump in on that and add their pre-game guesses as well. I went 38-6. I was close for a little while. 66-0, Peter.
That's because he had a...
It's not the worst.
17 minutes in, it was on.
It was looking good.
It was looking good. Cat had Tigers will have 2 players go to the sin bin. It was close.
Should have had.
Yeah, this is true. And then we had our 3 different locations where we were sitting. You were in probably I wouldn't say it was the worst spot, Morgan. I've sat very similar to there. But I didn't have a hand in front of me the whole time.
I like the corners. I'm a big fan of the corners.
Yeah, well, that's where I was, close to the corner.
Yeah, it's good.
I wasn't up in the Gucci box.
RGM, shout out to them.
RGM box, yeah. That's Mitchell Firth sent us a message. So stoked for Robson and all the Queensland boys. We fell asleep the last 5 minutes against the Tigers. I didn't. I won't drone on too much as the boys seem to be out there for each other now. Holmes seems to have shaken the monkey off his back finally. Touch wood. Hopefully good things to come. Have to agree, Mitch. That's he actually Holmes drilled a few of the kicks this week. But
6 out of 7, I think.
Yeah.
It was good.
Like that, yeah.
And he had some good angles too.
It's good to see him knock those couple over from the sideline. It's most of my time in the club, you've been used to Val steps up to kick. It's going in.
It's consistent. That
was good to see.
You could sort of see the last couple of weeks. It's like it's been playing on his mind. And he's lost a bit of confidence, but he seemed to have it back this week, especially. So
he's kicked pretty well the last 2 or 3 weeks. So it's been good to see.
Did he let all the boys know just to run it around as much as possible?
I don't know. That wouldn't surprise me with Val.
Be a good idea.
But I doubt it. But it is good to see him kicking good goals because it helps going up by 6, that's for sure.
100%.
Hell yeah.
Big time.
Hell yeah. 7 tries to 5 in that game. It's first time in a little while that we've scored more tries than the opposition. It's almost been equal tries the last
We did that 3 weeks in a row and lost all 3.
Yeah,
a bit nervous,
exactly. But 6 from 7 conversions, Val, as we said, plus that penalty goal and a sin bin, but,
Thrown in for good measure.
Oh, I mean, it was a bit how you going.
Yeah.
Given, he only got a fine in the end rather than anything else, no suspension.
Well, it's a bit like for Magic Round. They seem to start chucking all the sin bins in around Magic Round.
Oh, how many were Magic Round? There was heaps of them.
Heaps, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know, a bit weird. 5 tries to the Tigers, which... Yeah, still a few
The comeback was on for a bit. It was,
I was
worrying.
There were 2 very close tries towards the end there. I was a little concerned.
There's a couple of times I got up to get a snack and I went, oh no, what happened here?
Yeah. 2 tries in 2 minutes they put on. And Twile going over is sort of rubbing salt in the wound, I think. But
Sammy McIntyre, it was funny because 12 scored, and that's the second one now. It's not Sammy Tommy McHaley now has the longest try drought in the NRL, and he was talking about that the other day, how pumped he was to see Alex Twile score because it's him now, and he scored those 2 tries in the trial, but they don't count. So he's now got the longest try scoring drought apparently in the NRL.
He'll get one soon. He's got about 70 odd games under his belt done.
Yeah, I think he had sort of 66 or something for the Tigers and 1 for the Titans. So yeah, he's played 5 for us now, so it'd be early 70s.
We seem to have this uncanny ability for our guys to score on debut. It just seems to happen week in, week out when we get them.
Happened a lot in 21, I remember, with Griffin and Jeremiah and Heal and all those guys. But hopefully Tommy gets over soon.
Well, hopefully Tommy and Jamal gets over this week, being the debutant this week. But anyway, so not the worst game. It was actually good to see live. I enjoyed that. I don't get to see many live games, but that one was very enjoyable. The problem was I had my kids beside me, so I had to watch what I said.
Oh, you are known for that.
The 6 p.m. time slot. I enjoy the 6 p.m. Friday time slot because it's early enough you can have a beer after a win, but you still get the weekend. That's my favourite. 6 p.m. Friday. Not good for the crowd or anything like that. But
that crowd wasn't bad though.
No, we would get more if it was later or if it was a Saturday. That's traditionally the hardest time slot for us to fill, just because of a large chunk of our fans travel.
Just shy of 16,000 according to the official.
But for a purely selfish reason, I like that one.
It was a loud crowd. I thought it was a loud crowd.
Yeah.
They're getting better with that because we've always had historically, it takes them a long time to get into the game, but I felt a real shift in that from the sideline the last 2 or 3 years. They're louder earlier.
You haven't come and sat on the homestead with us before yet, have you?
Bring your earplugs.
We call where we sit the homestead, Letty.
But once they get going, they're great.
Who comes up with the game day chants?
That will be the marketing brand team, those sort of guys.
Without naming names, who came up with for the North?
I don't know the answer to that.
He's not going to throw him under the bus. He's too good for that.
Thought we were unlucky with that first game because they did a lot of filming and stuff around. It was really great, and the boys actually got right behind it. It was just when they started to get it going in that first game against the Knights, we played so poorly in that first half, and I just felt like it left a bad taste in everyone's mouth. But they no, they work hard. They do a good job, our guys.
No doubt. Yeah,
Well, I backed you guys in because it's like I think I equated it to like the Raptors in the NBA. You know, you're defending the North, all that kind of Game of Thronesy kind of this is our land. But yeah, it just didn't seem to kick off in the game.
And doesn't mean you don't keep trying, get those sort of things, and you keep trying to improve it. And I'm if that one didn't work, you on to the next
one.
Just if you could go to them and get the push-up boys back too.
Jesus.
Hammering in tonight.
That's a soft spot, that one.
We want this guy to come back in and help us, mate.
I'm in the footy department, so
I'm enjoying the game day. Does seem to be more exciting in terms of like, you get fireworks and the light shows, and the music seems to be cranking a bit more. I think it is more of a more involved game day experience this year.
Oh, that's good. Admittedly, I don't see a lot of it, and then because a lot of times I'm in the dressing sheds or we're going to do interviews and that sort of stuff. I don't hear or see a lot of it, but there has been some really good feedback. And then, I guess when I ever am on the field, the speakers face back towards the stand, so you can't really hear much. But that, but we've apparently had some good feedback, and that's good to hear because they work hard, they give it a go, and it's, almost like for the boys or the coaches when they don't play well, like if they take it personally if something doesn't go that well. So they're good people and they work hard.
I want to see a lights out entrance like in the NBA when you get LeBron coming out and you get the music going and the lights are off, and I reckon it'd be amazing.
So with the couple of light shows they've done, I've seen them. They've been awesome.
Very cool.
And we're lucky, we're so lucky
Great
to have that stadium here in a town this size to have, an asset like that. And our place next door is just unbelievable. And, I wasn't here when all that stuff went on, but testament to everyone that was, because it's awesome. It's as good as anywhere we go. Like we're going to the New Sydney one this weekend, so it'd be good to have a look at that. But our place is as good as anywhere.
And having it in the city there is amazing because you can sort of go have a drink before and after. And
I've always been jealous on a Saturday afternoon that I can't slip to the League Club and have a couple of bets and schooners and then walk over with everyone else.
Yeah, that's good.
Maybe one day.
Oh, the old Stampede is good.
Yeah, it's even just that whole thing. Like I like that side of sport where you go somewhere, you have a few beers, have a feed, and then sort of walk over, and that's great for our fans that we can do that here now.
Do you have like an understudy? So if you're crook,
no, I've never missed a game. Not really. So Jackie, who was my boss at the start, would probably do it, but she's certainly not my understudy. She's well above my pay grade. But if Crook or away or something, she would generally fill in for me. And if I did have to miss a game for a reason, she would probably go.
Yep. No. So there's no team. That's where I was getting at.
No, I'm pretty well on my own little island there. Like I answer into Lucky. He's my boss.
Yep.
But he's a head of footy, so he's not spending too much of his day, they overseeing me. They pretty well let me go, and then I guess have to weave into whoever I need to.
If you ever need an offsider, it sounds good. So just give me a bell.
You'd have to put up with me during the game, pacing up and down the tunnel. But other than that, it'd be all right.
Don't worry, I'm terrible to watch a game with, like I sort of alluded to before. Yeah. Anyway, it was Indigenous round. Matty Bowen leading the team out onto the field. That was awesome.
That was awesome.
That was really good. And our big men, Robson and Cotter, didn't miss a tackle each.
No.
None missed. And there were a few queries on them making Origin.
That Robson, though. Jesus Christ. Nothing gets past that.
He's just a coccyx now. He just tackles his arse off.
He's got no arms or legs left.
That's right.
The amount of games that those two finished with 0 missed tackles between the two of them, and they're both... Robbo's playing 80 minutes, Rubes is playing high 6, is unbelievable.
Yeah.
They're watching them train in the pre-season is something to behold. How fit they are is just, and tough, is ridiculous.
It's ridiculous.
Would he have the best bench press in the club, Robbo?
I think Helam might, don't quote me on this, I'll have to have a look on the board, but I thought Helam might have taken it over because Rubes had it for a long time.
Oh, true.
For a little while, but I'm pretty sure Helam, because when they come back from a knee, they don't do a lot of lower body for a long time, and he's a freak, Helam, physically. So I'm pretty sure Not
Jeez.
100% sure on that, but I'm pretty sure Helam's got it now.
I would not have picked that because
He's got the current one. Carl Webb still owns the bench press record.
Oh, really?
Yeah, 185 kilos from 2007.
Because Morgo was up there at one stage too, wasn't he? I think he was around 175s or something when I went through a gym.
Yeah, I'm not sure because they've got like all time and then current.
So 187.
185, I think, in 2007. Then I think
Is that one down or is that reps?
I think that would be a one rep. I would imagine. But yeah, he's still got a couple of records. I can't remember what else, but there was one other up there that Carl Webb still got. Yeah,
185 Morgs.
What a beast.
I'm flat out doing the bar.
there's they reckon he was a freak. Anyone that speaks to that was there and still there now, they just say he was some sort of physical freak, Carl Webb.
So what did you say Helam's on?
I can't remember, but I'm sure that the next one down has him as the next record, which might be in the 170s, I think. I'd have to have a look.
That's some weight.
Take a photo of it for you one day. But they've got sort of all sorts of stuff on there, all different things I've got no idea about in the gym. But then, speed records over, sleds over 10 metres or 10 metre ones, which Helam's right up there in the 10 metre speed as well. And the endurance ones, which Tommy did and owns everything now.
He's king of the hill, isn't he?
He's king of the hill. Because it's 3.5 Ks from that cathedral to the top. He's 18 minutes something.
That's ridiculous.
Ridiculous.
That is ridiculous.
That's just disgusting.
What's your time?
I do it with them. I've never missed one. My quickest one was like I went with Mitch Dunn one day, and I think we did high 21s, but that's a few years ago now. That's not happening anymore.
That's still pretty good.
Yeah, might have been low 22s, but like Tommy's,
Is
got
that,
it
is
breath
that running?
back.
That's running the whole time?
So
Does he walk?
So most people will run to that bottom car park
Yeah.
and then do sort of like a sprint walk the rest of the way. So Tommy's normally first, so he reckons he runs the majority of the way, then he stops
That's
in typical Tommy Dearden fashion for 8 metres or something like that, or 8 or 10, then he goes again.
That's unreal.
Whereas like the next crop down, which is generally Rubes and Robbo, they'll get that first kilometre and then they might sprint 200, walk 50, and then the rest of the way up. So it just depends what works, but... Lucky will do it with them and with everyone. He runs the whole way. Justin Morgan, he did it this year, ran the whole way, and then Maloney hadn't trained for 8 months and he ran like 21 minutes or something ridiculous up there. So
With a glass
hard.
of red in his hand too, probably.
It's as hard a mental thing as you'll do. It's awful. And then Tommy holds the 1.2 shuttle run as well. Which is the 20 up back, 40 up back, 60 up back, 5 laps of that. So he does that in 4:26. So if you think doing a 4-minute 26 kilometre running straight, like that's flying, he's doing that in a shuttle run.
That's unreal.
So
And it's 1.2 as well.
1.2 kilometres.
Oh,
Wow.
yuck. How? No, but
He's-
how does your lungs, how does your body even condition to that?
He just sprints the whole way. So Rubes had
But how? How does your legs and body and lungs and heart not explode?
They're pretty busted after that. But generally they'll do that at the start of training, do a session, and then sometimes do one at the end. But yeah, so Rubes had the record for a long time. Then Tommy Gilbert beat him, and then Rubes beat him again. But then Tommy did. Now because they all hovered around the low 4:30s, but he's at like 4:26 or 28 or something now. Like he won't get beaten for a while.
That's yuck.
You got to be sick in the head to run that fast because that's putting your body through.
Yeah, big pain.
Yeah.
What?
But that just shows the mental sort of strength he's got as well,
Yeah, 100%. And the way he chases down breaks and how often he finds himself on a loose ball and all those sort of things, that's why he's running those times, because he can put himself through things that others can't.
Do you see the science once he's done it? Like, if I go for a run and push for my limits, I'm getting around the 171 heart rates. Does he go to like 200s when he's doing that?
I don't know
shuttle,
the
or?
answer to that. Like, they are monitored live while they're doing that, like their heart rate and speed were the two things that they monitor. But no, I don't. So I've never asked about that. No.
Oh, I'd love to see his heart rate on a shuttle run. That'd be...
Yeah, he'd be able to, or he would push himself to, something ridiculous, no doubt. But he's that super fit that I don't know if he ever gets as high as the rest of us You know, like.
And then his come down recovery would be quick, and then he's back around 120. He's ready to go again. No doubt. Yeah.
Yeah. Because, you know, he can do that and then jump straight into training and you wouldn't know.
Just an arsehole.
Then goes home and eats his entire fridge.
Yeah.
Just to replace the calories.
No, he's awesome to watch in every facet, Tommy.
I do agree with that.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to next Wednesday.
Yeah, he's going to kill it in Origin too.
Oh, yeah.
And they always come back so well from Origin too.
They get a lot out of it, I find. Toddy always gets, he's not, never seem, when you talk to him, he's not excited. You know, like we'd love to have him play the Chooks.
For sure.
They come back with a spring in their step
Yep.
and, you know, a little bit extra, you know, bit of a strut, and it's great for him.
I always say Val comes back good from Origin too.
Yeah, absolutely.
He backs up well too, Val, generally. Like he does. Yeah, he gets better as it goes on.
If Queensland lose the Origin, and win for that matter as well, what's the mood like in the camp? Obviously, it's probably more like a half-half nowadays. Like you got Drinky, Chad, Robson, yourself, the coaches are probably all Blues as well.
There's a fair few of us in the staff side of things that are Blues, but there's a few of the senior blokes in the playing group that are Blues, but then it would still be heavily, heavily favoured towards Queensland. But I guess it's one of those things where we all live up here. We don't come in sprouting off if the Blues rarely do jag a win. Like you just put your head down, keep moving.
Yeah, we've had a good night.
Yeah,
but if the Blues do win, is it hard for the players coming back in? Like, is it hard for Toddy to get them up, or is there banter within the four walls as well?
I'm trying to remember. So what Queensland won the last two before this.
Yeah, the series,
Yeah, and then
I'm just talking more individual games.
I'm trying to think. I can't actually remember back to 21. I don't think we had that many picked anyway in 21, have an effect. But I can't remember back to, and 2020 was at the end of the year, and I just because that would be only that 21, but I can't quite remember that year what it was like. I don't think it was as bad because we probably wouldn't have had that many in it. Yeah, because we didn't have a great year.
But I mean, even like last year when we wrapped up the series in game 2, or even won the first game, the players come back in. Is there a bit of a F you to Drinky and Chad and the likes?
They get into it a little bit because it's those three, they're pretty passionate New South Welshmen, those three. They love living up here and they love this region. But when it comes to, remember Robbo and Drinky went to the Origin here in their Blues jersey, which I thought, geez, that's brave. Like I did that, but no one knows who I am. So, but no, it's one of those things where we live here. Either way, like the boys might give it to Drinky and that, but they'll sort of cop it on the chin. But then the other side of things is if New South Wales did jag a win, you just get on with it because, it's Queensland and people live and die for it up here, and no one to be that game.
But then come Thursday, it's all just we're Cowboys again sort of thing, or is there still a bit of a hangover?
No, it's normally more, and like even myself, like I'm disgraceful during Origin games. Like because I've grown up in the period where we just get smashed for every year. Like we had that good, 1, 3 and 4 years, but outside of that, like, from mid 2000s when I really got into footy and got older, we've just lost every year. So like I ride it hard, but no, like even after a loss, like I'll know the next day I'm really looking forward for the boys to walk through the door so I can shake their hand, say congratulations. Like, and Toddy has said himself that he almost finds himself going for Queensland at times because he wants to see how, because he gets means it's so much better for our club for them to play well in Origin.
Yep.
So like I might during the game, if Val goes over for a try, get a bit cranky, but the next day you're just pumped to see him because like it's a pinnacle of sport and seeing them do well is awesome.
Yep.
And in answer to your questions, where you're going with that, it doesn't go on. Not that I've found. Like they give it to me a bit. The other staff, and in particular, Lucky, like he drives it into me, and I normally get to bite out of me. But we try to be, keep the nose pretty clean because it's
Origin, but it's also Cowboys,
and it's Origin in Queensland. Like not that game.
Fair enough. We do our own player points for each game each week, and 3-2-1s as we call them. Morgan, do you want to kick it off this year?
I'm nervous. Don't start with me.
Why?
Here we go.
Well, Pistol hasn't put his in the run sheet.
No,
so.
I didn't. I put it in me on the other message there. I had Cotter for 3.
Oh, you kick it off then.
Yeah, I will, because you're looking at me all coy like. No, I had Cotter for 3. I even said to him at the Leagues Club when Muzz went up, I said, I had you for 3. He said, oh, thanks, mate.
He was awesome.
He was, yeah.
I thought that was Rube's best game of the year. He was awesome.
And watching it live as well, from the angle where we are up in that sweet section, you do, not being a hoity-toity here, but it is a great outline of the field as well. And he was everywhere. He was doing everything. He wasn't missing. I had Muzz for 2. That was one of his best games as well. And we have lost 5 in a row without him. And I've been saying how much we missed him. And when he's come back the last 2 weeks, it's no surprise why Billy's picked him on the sting for Origin as well. And then one point I had for Tommy Dearden. Made that knock-on error in the first half when we're 20-0 up and let in 2 after that. And I reckon if he holds that and it grubbers through, floodgates open straight up. But he was awesome, Tommy.
Agreed. Morgan.
All right. I went 3 points. I went Muzz. And I just made a couple of little notes here. I put big meters and good attack. For 2 points, I went Dearden. I always give Dearden points. I love Dearden. And for 1, I went Holmes. 6 out of 7 conversions. I thought he had really good attack and just held his nerve really good. And I put Chad. He had a good game too, I reckon. Try assists.
It's been phenomenal the last few weeks, Chatty.
Yeah, really good.
It's been awesome. It's been great to see.
Cool. I went a little bit different. I had Muzz for 3. Like you say, good return game. We have missed him. And we're going to miss him again this week. But, it's good to have him on the wing in Origin anyway.
His reaction at the Leagues Club, sorry, Rob, when Toddy's called him out as the player's player or whatever, you're the man of the match. He's standing up at the bar going, right, hey, when are we almost finished up, wrapping up this? And he's Murray Talungi's, me, what the hell? And he put him on the spot there. It was funny, comedic to watch.
Yeah, he seems to be like an unassuming fella.
Well, that sums him up pretty well. Like he wouldn't be sitting there thinking he was the best player on the field. And it's funny because, wingers have always been that position that everyone ridicules, but you could argue with Muzz, he'd be in our top handful of influential players. He's so good. I wouldn't swap him for anyone.
No way.
He's a great kid to go with it. He's a gun.
Can tackle too. Put on that good hit.
Yeah, changed the game, didn't it?
Yeah.
Very much so. He's outstanding.
He's got a history of big tackles too. Like, he loves getting a big hit on.
Yeah.
And it's so good seeing him pump the team up too. Yeah, which I think we mess with Hess, because Hess is so good at getting in and celebrating the big defensive stops too.
Chatty, I found a little bit on his own with that, because he's great at it too. Whether when we turn him away and that sort of stuff. We've certainly missed Hesse there, but Muzz and Hesse are sort of in charge of energy at training. So it's been good to have him back.
Yeah, you can see that come through out on the field.
I gave 2 points to Kyle Felt. Yeah, I think he had a good game as well. He always does. He's like the old fella out on the field, but he's just good returns. Just doesn't shy away from running the ball at the biggest guy on the field, and knows how to finish a try too. And 1 point for Tommy Dearden, just because the same reasons you guys said. That breakaway and sprint for... I thought he was on there. Everywhere where I was sitting, everyone was, come on, Tommy, get up. But,
that would have been awesome.
He did really well.
The first one, when he did that, I was asked him at the club, and I said, what was your thoughts? He said, well, we're down to a 12 on the bench and this and that. I said, you sure you didn't just pull up because you thought it might have been a knock-on when the ref called play on? I'm thinking,
might have still been scarred from the week before, because when, it was in that minute and a half against the Rabbitohs and Pillar, Villiamy kicked it, and then Braden Burns kicked it as well. They might have, that didn't go down overly well, I don't think, with the coaching staff. They might have just wanted him to fall on that. So Tommy might have just been thinking, I might fall over here and let's finish the game. But Drinky did a Drinky thing and set up a try anyway. So
very good. Do you want to give 3 to? Have you got in mind who you would give 3 points to?
I thought Rubes was outstanding as well. Rubes, Muzz, and I thought Val too.
Yep. Yeah, very good. All right. Well, I hope you're still tallying these up.
Put the guest one in, Morgie.
I will. It's hard sometimes when we have good games because you just want to give it to everyone.
Yeah.
But it's hard to pick the 3-2 ones.
Well, that's the thing. Like, I picked these three, Muzz, Felton and Dearden, at the ground watching, not knowing that Robbo and Rubes didn't miss any tackles.
Yeah.
And it's hard when you score. I find you look at the Dally M points and stuff too. When you score a lot of points, people forget about how valuable those things you're talking about, making 50 tackles without a miss, is as well. Like, that's just as valuable.
Yeah, that's huge.
Stopping tries is just as important.
Yeah.
Yep.
So they always, I find that people analysing the game get caught up in the big stuff too often.
I think we tend to give Robbo a lot of points anyway because he is he's a workhorse, and Rubes for the same reason. So I think probably we go into it, just us three go into it, us four, all of us go in, or crowd look at it and try to find other players because we almost come to expect it from Robbo and Rubes now.
And you could give Tommy 3 points every week.
Yeah, easily.
Yep.
But when you get the guys like McLean's and stuff,
Yeah, I was just going to say,
they sort of get, I don't want to say overlooked, but when you have like the Drinkwater and the Dearden and the Vowels and the Cotters, what they do is sort of that consistent run day in, day out. Sort of.
You look at someone like McAdoo, you're right.
Yeah.
He is, effective tackle percentage generally is well into the 90s every year, but he, outside of 22 never really gets spoken about, too much publicity.
Yeah, he's a beast.
I understand tries and is what sells the game, but sometimes you just wish that people would look into that a little bit more because it is saving a try is just as valuable as scoring one. And just, there's just so many players that gets overlooked for, I find.
But also trucking the ball up like Macca does as well. No one talks about him, but religiously 160 plus metres a game, 30 tackles, 0 missed.
Never gets put in his back either.
Yeah, always finds his
very
front.
quick play the ball.
Yeah. And just goes unnoticed for the... it just happens.
And you're right. He doesn't make the mistakes. You don't see him sort of. He does go unnoticed because he's just old reliable. Like he just gets the job done.
Very good. All right, on to round 13. This one against the Roosters down at Allianz Stadium. Jeez, the Roosters here are $1.13 favourites at the moment.
The bigger they are, the harder they fall, my friend.
Oh, look, and in the past we've beaten the Roosters when we shouldn't.
Yeah.
So I always remember on the Central Coast and Cliffo played.
Yes.
Coops' 300th game.
Yes.
One of the all-time nights, bus trips after that.
I'll bet it was.
Yeah. Cliffo just had the game. I remember Johnny Asiata played 5'8" and scored the try that I think put us in front. That was a strange day, that one.
Yeah.
Strange day.
But it was great.
Great. We were on the bus straight back to Sydney. And it was a good time.
Were you flying out that same
No,
night
we
or-
stayed. A lot of times when we play there, we seem to stay in Sydney, bus down for the game, bus home. I'm not sure why that is. I don't know whether, the hotels that the NRL sponsored by or whatever, or we choose to do that. I'm not sure. But we did that day, and it was nothing. I haven't had a good bus trip since the country footy days, so it was awesome. That was a good time.
Eskies in the back in the aisle, yeah. Nice.
That does sound fun.
And, being such an occasion for Coops, I think we had a couple of ex-players that were on the bus, and it was a good time.
A few sing-alongs.
I've got it. Do we bust down to Magic Round next year?
Oh, Jesus.
No,
Don't
we
reckon?
do not. No, that's
The
a long
2-hour
stretch.
flight was bad enough, I'll tell you
That's
that.
a long stretch.
This one's 4:05 Sunday afternoon. Channel 9 game. That's nice to see. The team is, of course, a little bit different.
Yeah, big changes.
Funny that. Scotty Drinkwater, Kyle Felt, Tommy Chester returns.
Oh,
yeah,
that's
go
good.
Chester.
Yes.
Shit, I thought he was out for a lot longer with that hemi.
He played for the Pride last week in the game they played before us.
Yeah, right, eh? Yeah, yep.
Played fullback.
Very good. And Viliami Vailea, I always say it wrong, but he returns along with Braden Burns. So very different backline, of course. Jake Clifford returns in the 6. Not a while since I've seen him in 6.
Yeah, Newcastle days probably.
Yeah. And Chad, of course, in 7. Jordan McLean, Jake Granville as our hooker, or starting hooker. Be the hooker. Can anyone else play hooker?
Yeah, well, look, I was thinking that we might have an opportunity to blood. I know you mentioned before that young hooker from Mackay, but Granville's a beast.
He's only just out of school, that kid. He's be a couple of years away yet.
Yeah, but
he's a good young player.
Even a Pride or
He hasn't
Putters
played,
hooking a blood in would have been nice.
Xavier hasn't played Queensland Cup yet, but he's a good player. Came through with Purdue and that sort of crew. They had a good side down there in the for Mal Meninga from Mackay as well. Right. He's going to be a good player.
Griffin Neem, Helam Lukey, Kuli Kefu and Thomas McKaylee starting in the top 13. And on the bench, Sam McIntyre, Harrison Edwards, Jamal Shibasaki making his debut. Get on him for anytime try score a pistol.
Yeah, don't get him on first off the bench.
Not for first, no. Preferably not. And then
Big pan of mozza, though.
Jason Taumalolo at number 17. Caden Lars is our 18th man.
Caden Lars.
I'll tell you one thing. Don't read in too much to anything jersey number-wise from 14 down because they're generally around jersey sizes. So...
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Really?
Pretty well.
Yeah.
I think a lot of times now that we have most of them, but especially in my early days, from 14 to 21, 22, you just basically went, 19 was generally a smaller jersey size number and that sort of stuff. I think we've got most of them now, but Toddy will just have those 5 names on his board and whatever order they go in, whatever order. It's probably something more to look at when they go to the 19, 24 hours out, but...
what you're saying is Tom Duffy's now the 18th man.
I actually don't know who the other two travelling with us this week are.
I rate Duffy.
I'm glad he
he's
mentioned
an absolute gun.
I was about to ask about Duffy. Yeah.
He's going really well, isn't he, for Pride this year?
Yep.
He's had a great season.
And we've had him on. He was really good.
He's a good kid.
He's
Very
fantastic.
well spoken, studying engineering.
Yep.
Local lad. I hope he makes a career of it because he's a really good young fella.
Yeah, I'm a fan.
The Roosters, probably different to most. James Tedesco, I don't think we've played him in the Origin period for quite some time.
Do you think he'll be kicking stones or he'll come out
well, apparently he was the first
hellfire
one,
and brimstone?
He was the first one to text Dylan, apparently, so maybe not. I don't know if it was a good text or a bad text, but...
As a Blue, do you...
I found... Yeah, I think it's probably time to give Edwards a go. I thought Teddy's still a great player, and I wouldn't have kicked stones if he was there. But Edwards has been top handful of players for one of the most dominant teams in modern rugby league history. So I'm okay for him to get a go. We lost the last 2 series.
Yeah, that's true.
I'm not a big believer in throwing the toys out of the cot because generally whatever level it is, you'll more than likely have the best players there. You just got to get them playing better. But I think it's probably he's earned a crack now.
Yeah. But at the stake of your captain,
I
the
would have
Australian
rather
captain.
for the Cowboys tended to get picked this week. Because I reckon on a Sunday afternoon at Allianz when Origin's in a couple of days, he'll be out for a big one. So big job for our boys.
Daniel Tupu, Fetapaga. I probably said that wrong. Joey Manu, Dominic Young, Luke Keary and Sam Walker.
Keary probably won't, though.
He's 19th, man.
Oh, is he 19th? Oh,
play.
Burton's 18th.
As long as, unless
Nico or
maybe
someone,
if Hines doesn't, he's still hampered at training, they might keep him out, but the 19th is allowed to play.
Yeah, right.
I think he'll be playing anyway.
Bugger.
Yeah.
Hope so.
JWH, Brandon Smith, Terrell May, Nat Butcher, Victor Radley, and Nafahu White.
Oh, this must be embarrassing.
No, I think you actually got that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yep.
I don't know about the centre, but that was a pretty good effort.
Sandon Smith. Oh, God. Here we go.
Satili Tuapula.
Siua Wong. No, you just said Satili and Michael Jennings. I think I got that one right.
Jennings.
The grey ghost is still going.
Michael Jennings. He's actually got a bit of old salt in the beard too.
Yeah, right.
Michael Jennings. You don't see too many grey hairs on a footy field, do you?
He's only 35 though. When you look at someone like Cherry Evans, who's 35 and still got his hair, and then you look at Jennings and he's just Ric Flair white.
Well, not quite that, but he's
quite.
getting there anyway. He's getting there. No, this could be a tough game.
I reckon we got the talent though.
Yeah,
like
absolutely.
Our young guys who are coming in.
Yeah.
Just send it to Burns. Get it to Burns.
The breather won't quit.
The breather.
Yeah,
the breather won't quit.
That is the best nickname, I reckon, in the team.
Do you know how that comes about?
Can you
Love
please
to hear
elaborate?
it.
Because
Please.
yeah.
Something along the lines of this might not be a complete right story, but say Jakey's the fastest talker of all time, and everyone calls each other brother, and he's eventually started to sound like Breather, and then they're just stuck, and that's what he calls everyone that, and everyone calls him that.
I love it.
And
It's consistent. Everyone's saying the same thing, so there's not a hidden story there. We're trying to dig it out.
world's greatest bloke ever. Like he shouldn't be a rugby league player. He's too nice. Whatever he decides to do, he'd be one you'd love to keep around in whatever role for the rest of his time, because he's just champion.
We talked earlier about Tamalolo and get him a statue. Is there any movement for a Jake Granville statue next to the?
It's funny. I reckon outside of the genuine superstars that have been in the club since I've been there, he's been the most popular. And that's just testament to the way he plays. Like North Queenslanders love someone that will put their head in places that it shouldn't. And like this weekend, if he can handle it, he'll probably play 80 minutes and come off like he's been hit by a truck. And people love that.
He's probably already got the man of the match already, and it's only Tuesday night.
More than likely, yeah. I'd say so.
He's a gun.
No, but Sunday, 4:00. Should be good. Should be good after a big round. But looking forward to that one. The Kai Cutters, as we mentioned, won the BMD Premiership, 16-6. Good win. Now, the Cowboys players in this, it's mostly Cowboys players, really, isn't it?
It's 14-17, and then there was one girl, I'm pretty sure the 5'8's doing a training trial.
Yeah, right. Yep.
So it's 14-17 contracted either in the top 24 or dev list, which means they train full time, and then the young 5'8's coming up to play to do training trial over the pre-season. So, outside of Fran, Goldthorpe, and Jakaya and a handful of others, it's not that far away from looking somewhat like our NRLW team, so it's great to see.
Yeah.
They were, only lost one game all year from memory.
Yep.
Good on them. It was great to see.
Yeah. And then going into this coming week, if the girls they said they're starting this week.
Saturday, I think they're in for sort of induction-y type stuff, and then pretty well kick off full time from next week. So their pre-season's pretty thick and fast compared to the blokes. That seems to go on forever.
Are they having trials, or is it just pretty much
they
straight
will.
into it?
I don't know if they've announced their trials yet, but they will have at least one.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. I've asked that question.
Yep, and then round one is starts on the 25th of July, the week of. So a few weeks until the full round, but yeah. That's
So they'd probably be looking at somewhere around 5 weeks, then a trial. Whereas the blokes, they start on November 1 and play the first trial in the second week of Feb. They don't have a lot of time, and especially our girls are in there only their second season, a handful of new players. So it's a big job for Ricky and the staff. But
did they do the hill as well?
Yeah. Everyone
with the guys.
So
as well,
that's only started since Toddy's come in. I think they used to do it way back. JT used to hold the record from the bottom car park, but since Toddy's come back in, the girls did it last year and the young guns do it as well. So it's sort of a bit of a rite of passage.
All in one group as well? No. Separate.
A few of the young guns will do it if they're training with the NRL squad over the pre-season, but all separate, because they all train at different times, see. So the young guns and the NRLW are generally night time. The NRL are afternoon at the moment, but then pre-season they're morning. So
how do you see the women having their state of origin to kick off the season, or the first grade season, I guess you'd call it?
I guess they've got to do with the timing, because the grand final day is the same as the NRL. I don't know about all that, that conversation around what's the ideal time for it. I don't have the answer for all of it, whether it's the men, the women, anyone. It's all, there's so much footy and you got to fit it in. There's stuff after the season. Is the state of origin better to have at the end of the season? Well, then players don't get the opportunity as much to play for their countries. It's smarter minds than me are going to have to work that out. But it does take its toll on the NRL clubs during. It's hard, training there today between the 6 origin players and the 6 or 7 we got out injured. We had some faces from the young guns that I'd never seen before in there today. Like the new faces that are haven't been around a long time just to fill in spots so we can have two teams running at each other. So, it's hard. And the teams that handle it the better are generally the ones that are there at the back end. But it is difficult.
I didn't mind that year that Origin was at the end of the year. I thought that went all right, but I understand it would conflict with international and that sort of stuff. But
like you said, when is a good time though?
That's hard as well, because then the teams that don't make the finals, those blokes don't play for 2 months before Origin. Yeah. So is that giving you the best product? Like, I don't know. Like, do you shut the competition down for 3 weeks and do that? I don't know. I don't know what the best answer is. I love it all. I love Origin. Love the NRL. I'm sure they'll continue to look at it.
On the flip side, it does highlight if a team has good depth and gives the younger fellas an opportunity to.
Well, I was saying before we started, games like this weekend are a lot of fun.
Yep.
Some of those blokes, I can't ever remember Shibba being on a away trip with us other than a trial.
Yep.
Whether Duff or Jacko Purdue or one of those blokes travels at the back end of the squad, it'll be fun and a lot of different dynamic and, not quite as serious, and it's different and it's fun. And I always find you generally play a little bit better than you think you're going to as well, because all these blokes are so keen and so pumped, ready to go. So, fingers crossed. I'm pretty confident we'll give a pretty good account there on Sunday afternoon, because they'll be ready to go and they'll be ready to have a bit of fun, our lads.
And to manage your players as well afterwards, is it a bonus that the cross is not as good as what it used to be as well, or how do you manage those young fellas anymore?
Because of the professionalism around it, right? And like 5-day turnaround, they won't have a beer. 6-day, they might be able to have a couple in the sheds. They, for Goodwin, they might have a couple at the hotel, but generally only allowed to go out on a 7-day or longer turn. You don't get a lot of those when you're travelling, especially. So, but no, they're not as, especially our group. They're certainly there. Put it this way: when they go out for a night out, I don't lose any sleep.
Yeah,
they're good kids. They're always pretty well behaved and look after each other. And I went to cross a few times back in the day, so yes, you probably does.
Are you on the 24-hour bat phone? Like, are you sort of hoping? Obviously, it doesn't ever ring, but
yeah, I've had a few over the years.
Yep.
But a lot of times they're good now too. They might give you a call they just don't know if something.
Just a heads up.
Just hey, this has gone on, and more giving you a heads up. It doesn't happen very often. A handful of times over 7 years, so. A lot of times, that'll go to Lucky, and then off. You might find out the next day. But they're good boys. They rarely get in trouble.
Touch wood.
Yeah.
Have you ever had the phone call with, fuck, I can't ring anyone else. I ring Ben. I'm locked out of my room. I don't know how to get in. All that sort of stuff. But
I had one, and I certainly won't go into this one. Back in the day, from a young fellow here. Just. What should I do here? And, it wasn't anything too serious, but been pretty lucky over the years. It's not, and we're lucky with where we are here too. They pretty well look after the public, look after them. They're not out to get them. I find, like you see in Sydney, sometimes they sort of get antagonised to trouble. That doesn't happen
Phones
here.
in their face and
they're just that
recording
pumped to see them,
yeah.
and our boys are always happy with all. See too many of our lads ever knock back photos or anything like that. So we're quite lucky with the environment we're in up here, I find. Yeah. So touch wood, as you said, but don't find themselves generally. I don't find myself ever too stressed that something's going to go haywire.
Yeah, because are you the first point of contact?
No, they'll
with
ring
that,
Lucky.
Lucky first,
generally Lucky. Back in the, sometimes welfare, Kevin Marty was there for a million years, so they might call Kmart. But I would say Lucky would be their first port of call now, and then Lucky will go to work then around who else. We generally jump on a group call and who needs to do what.
Yeah. Ben, can you look after this? I can't do this tonight.
No, well, Lucky likes to get everything done. He's very, let's get it done, it done now. And he's very process around who needs to do what, and everyone will be clear in their jobs, and just you get on and do it. Thankfully, it's not too much of we've got it down to a fine art, because haven't had, you get
the occasional.
Yeah, one, you never go 12 months without something. It's rugby league. It's, but no, he'll be the first port of call, and then he'll work out what to do from there.
Were you up here when the egg throwing incident from Tamalolo? Did you have to deal anything?
I was a journo then. I remember it, but no, I miss that, and I remember and we had a couple of things in the couple of years after I got up here, and I remember when they used that as an example when I came up. And, when we had a couple of things happen, I thought, geez, how good would an egg throwing be? That's the biggest issue you have in footy over 12 months where you're going all right. But no, I wasn't. But I remember, it was a big story for an egging. Immature, I guess, for...
couple of 18-year-olds.
Yeah, but
it's a bit unique.
And a big...
Well, they were two, I guess, with the two names that were involved around... the one coming through and the one already established as...
Yeah.
If I understand. But
That's fun. That's a fun one.
Yeah, that wouldn't be one I'd be sitting there opening the eyes at night going, one day we're going to work this one out.
Do many of the other media managers have the journo background that you know of? Because you've basically had both sides of the...
Yeah, the bloke that does a Penrith job, we did the exact same job at Big League. Yep. I would say half, and then I actually never sat down with a lot of them to find out how they came into it, whether, it was PR sort of uni background or, government PR, that sort of stuff. But I'd say half and half. Like Trad, he's at the Dolphins, he was at the Broncos for a long time. He used to be a journo. I know that Steele that's at the Broncos now, he was a journo.
Is that Travis Main, is it, at the Broncos?
No, Trad.
Oh, Trad.
Trad
sorry.
McLean, his name is. Trav's still a journo with Courier Mail. Yep.
Yeah, right. But with that media background, can you look at some journos now and they might... Do they feed you questions first so you can sort of vet them?
No, definitely not. And if a lot of journos, if you asked them to, especially down in Sydney or Brisbane, what they're going to ask, they'd tell you to beat it.
Yeah, right.
But if you've got a good relationship with them, you can sort of, have a call and get a bit of a gauge. And, a lot of times, if you've got a relationship with them and they're going to ask something controversial, they'll let you know to give the player the heads up or the coach a heads up, which is good.
Yep.
Some won't, and that's fine too. It just means you won't really have you're not picking up the phone to them either if you want to do something together or, that sort of stuff. They're not ones you have a personal relationship with or the club has a close relationship with, but they haven't done anything wrong either. They're just doing their job.
Yep.
They won't have that thing, if we want to feed, give someone a story about something, that they just wouldn't be the one you'd pick up the phone to.
Yeah, no, fair enough. All right, well, Rail Motor is releasing their third single and the entire album, and it's called 11 on Friday the 31st of May. That's this Friday. And Rail Motor Annie is one of our back-end members.
That she is.
And does a lot of work on the back end. All those graphics you see pop up on our socials, nearly all of those are something that Kat has put together during her busy day. So shout out to Kat and Rail Motor for their entire album coming out this Friday.
Got to get Val or Jace to play Rail Motor on the jukebox in the gym. They're actually a pretty decent band there.
The size of the jukebox they get around with, you'd be able to get good exposure, put it that way.
Yes. And shout out to the Mad Dragon Vodcaster, who he appeared on Channel 9 Footy Show on Sunday. Well done.
Yes.
Friends of us. Friends
Donnie?
of ours.
Yeah, Donnie Pell.
Yeah. For Ben, Pete had a bit of a guest spot on their pod a couple of weeks ago. So
on the Dragons
when we played them in Sydney. Yeah.
Round 3,
Round 3, yeah. They always, whoever they're playing, they always get someone from the other team on and reached out to us and had a crack. Yeah, it was good. 15-minute segment, went for about 45 minutes.
Yeah, you need that school of not waffling.
They're the ones kept on talking to me. Like, are we wrapping this up yet? I've got dinner in the...
Just get a Uber Eats from Molly's.
Well, that too.
You could just do that. It's a $15 crumb steak on a Tuesday night, which is tonight.
Yeah, we've got to stop recording on Tuesday nights.
I know, that's what we keep saying.
Because it is crumb steak night.
Yeah.
With a scooey as well.
I used to go there every Tuesday when I moved to town.
Yeah, how good is it? Yeah.
Beautiful. All right, tipping comp. footytips.com.au. How'd you go?
Good. Got 4 from.
4 from. Bill did not go well at all by the sounds of things.
Did you joker this week, Bill, as well?
No. Oh, okay, right. Very good. Well, the competition leaderboard, In Your Mouth 69 is leading, 74 points. Rocking Horse Road, 72 points in second place. In third now is, I'm sort of hesitating to say this name now that the media manager is sitting beside me, but Val the Smooth Criminal is in third place on 71 points. In fourth is Red Hot Richie on 70 points with Neon Cowboy, and then on 69 points, nice, is Graham C 89, JJ 86, Hale 7, and Get to the Kick and Lay Butter Me Up is in 10th.
That's a good name.
It is. There's some very good ones. Some of these guys have come out with, like, another one good one for you, Lay Lewis Driving School. Gotta be the Cowboys. Swiss Cowboy, who's a fan from Switzerland.
Wow.
So, and he's a huge fan. He's
Super fan.
super fan. He watches every
Is he from Australia?
No, he's from Switzerland.
Wow.
But his sister is involved with Townsville Enterprise.
Yeah.
So,
Right.
Yeah. I think she runs it. Something like that. Anyway,
Yep.
Dearden's Nut is in 37th spot. Look, we have no control over these people. That's
great,
They
though.
do what they do. Now, Mal's Pie is number one. Our good friend here, Morgan.
Okay, so I got one.
You got one.
But Ben, you'll
Wow.
be pleased to know it was the Cowboys.
Beautiful.
Very good. In 47th spot. Yeah, that's a bit of a drop.
It was a
after
disaster.
Just one absolute horror show.
Unmitigated horror show. Yeah.
Very good. Hessen Dearden, it's Guy Love is another name. Yeah, pass this on to the
That's
guy.
true as well.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so
accurate.
So we've seen.
Very.
Pistol Blazing Two Guns in 67th
Yeah. Here we go.
with 460 points.
2 points off Mal's.
2 points off Mal's.
Yeah. We've got a little $100 bet on who finishes on top at the end of the season.
Yeah. In 81st, Rob, and in 82nd, Cowboy Chicken down the end of the table there. I've overtaken you.
It's not hard when I score 2 points.
Yeah, I only got 4 myself, so it wasn't the best of times. And the potato, 112th.
Yeah, he's got no chance.
He got 3.
No chance.
We'll see how the potato goes this week. And over in our Patreon tipping comp, Como 99's leading that one after using a joker, now on 68 points.
Cheater.
Jack Trax is on the ranch in 67th. On 67 points. Get your tips out. Valentine Fly Homes and Mam Cunster is in 5th on that one. So, it's both competitions are all topsy-turvy thanks to those jokers. Changes every week. But we'll go into round 13. Unlucky for some. I don't know what ads I'm getting now. It's bizarre. But Thursday, 30th of May at Combank Stadium, the Eels taking on the Sharks. Pistol, kick it off for us, will you?
I've gone para by 4. Surely they can't.
Surely.
Surely not.
And
I think Moses is back. Gutherson's back.
Don't call me
Sharks
Shirley.
are losing Hines and McInnes.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yeah. Surely Eels have to do something.
All right. Very good. Morgs?
I reckon the Sharks will go about 18.
Sharks by 18.
Yeah, after last week.
You reckon?
You got to back him in for a bounce.
Oh, I don't know if they'll bounce that much.
Yeah.
But anyway, the potato has gone the Sharks, and I'm going to go the Sharks as well. Could you get into tipping, Ben, or is it
No. So anything
not allowed?
Gambling type.
Tips the Cowboys.
related.
I understand that. You tip the Cowboys, but that's
No.
fair.
No.
All good.
I think a family tipping comp or something might be allowed, but no.
No.
Generally stay away from it. I used to, before I started this job, tipping Supercoach, all that sort of stuff, I loved it, but I don't do any of it now.
Is that for
Perk.
contractual reasons?
Yeah,
or-
anyone employed by the NRL or any of the clubs, you can't do any of that sort of
Yeah,
stuff.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, fair. That is what it is.
Yep,
If that's
very good.
if that's a sacrifice you've got to make to work in footy every day, I think that's okay.
That's terrible, isn't it?
You get that on a good jobs, eh?
All right, so Bill, you want to sing out Sharks, Eels?
Went the Sharks.
Went the Sharks, very good. Friday the 31st, McDonald Jones, 8 p.m. Geez, there's one game on the Friday. It's the Knights at $1.55, the Bulldogs $2.45. Pistol.
Yeah, give us the Knights. I think they're coming off a bye and they'll be too good.
Morgs,
Knights for me.
Go on the Knights as well. I forget what page I'm on here, but the Potato has picked the Knights, and I'm going to go the Knights as well.
Cheater.
Bill?
Knights.
Knights all round. It's usually a bad thing. Sunday the 1st at 5:30, Blue Bet, Panthers $1.35, Dragons $3.20.
Red V. Give us the Drags. They got to come back. They'll be all right.
The Red V against the Panthers.
Yeah.
Panthers.
Okay.
No Luai, no Edwards, no Toto.
Sorry, you're going
No
Panthers as
Yao,
well, Mark?
no
I'll go
Martin.
Panthers. I need to look at a team list, but I'll go Panthers.
You're going the Panthers?
Yeah.
All right. The Potato has picked the Panthers. I, too, am picking the Panthers. Bill? Red V. Look out.
Go the Drags.
It's an omen.
Who did
Oh,
you go for growing up as a...
My old man went for North Sydney, so it was always them, and then they went out and Storm came in, so I don't like to say that too much, especially up here, but yeah, I went for them. But then as soon as I got this job, I wondered when I got the job what had happened, and then we played Melbourne round 3 and I was...
Oh, is that
Australia.
was that the Thurston field goal? No, that was 2015.
No, that was...
No,
so this was 2018, so it was the week... So they flew me up for round 1 and 2. Round 2 was at Suncorp when Boltsy ran into the post.
Oh, yes.
And then Cowboys played Melbourne the next week. I think Melbourne won, but I was driving up here that week, but I was Cowboys straight away and never looked back.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Smart man.
So being a Bears boy growing up, if the Perth Bears come in,
I'd have a soft spot for him
Yeah.
for sure because Dad would be all over it. But yeah, definitely have a soft spot for him. He loved them, Dad. He was devastated when they went out.
as he would be.
Where was I up to? Panthers? Dragons? Because you just went Red V. Very good. 7:35, KO Stadium. The Dolphins, $1.57. Raiders, $2.40. Pistol. This will be interesting.
Yeah, I'm going the Raiders in this.
Oh, okay. Not as interesting as I thought.
No, well, I don't know. They're a gritty team, Raiders. They do the opposite. When you think they're gone and they just got spanked by Roosters and they got to come to Queensland, they got no chance. They'll somehow find a way to win by 4.
Mm-hmm.
They just do.
We'll see. Morgan?
Yeah, you know what? He's talked me into it. I'm going to go Raiders too.
Don't get him to talk. Don't.
No,
No,
I've got a
Don't
soft
let him
spot.
influence you.
No, I'm in on Raiders.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Dolphins would have a few out, wouldn't they?
Yeah, they don't have Hammer.
Kafusi, 18th man.
Kafusi's, I think
Is he 18th man forward?
he's on the bench, isn't he?
No.
No, he didn't get bench.
Hang on. I've got the squads here.
No,
Have a
18th
look.
is Ezra.
18th. No, 18th is Felice Kafusi.
Oh, he is.
Ezra is 20.
Yeah, right.
Again, depending on jersey size.
Yeah,
Well, I don't know how they do it.
They can probably cover a few off.
They'd
Yeah.
all wear extra smalls in Origin, wouldn't they? Less to grab onto.
They are
probably.
tight, the Origin jerseys.
Indeed.
Raiders.
You are going Raiders.
Yeah,
okay,
I'm
I'm
going
just
Raiders.
double
Lock,
checking.
lock it in.
All right. Okay. I'm going to go the Dolphins. It's down at KO. And the Potato has also picked the Dolphins. Potato's all on board with me this
No,
week.
he's got no chance.
Yeah, probably not. It doesn't bode well for my tips that the Potato's gone the same thing.
Yeah, it's not good.
Bill?
Fins up.
Fins up.
Cool.
Yeah, I like it. I like it. Very good. Sunday, 2nd of June, 4:05.
good.
Allianz. It will be good.
This will be good. Well, we've got a Cowboy manager here. This will be good on what you two jabronis pick.
Roosters, $1.15. Cowboys, depending on which book you look at, anywhere between $6 and $5.50.
Yeah, that is good value. Load up.
Lock it in.
Load
Lock
up.
it in.
I've always said there's not a day that goes by that I don't tip the cows.
There's a lot of things you always say.
I believe belong. Doesn't matter who we've got out. Doesn't matter who we're playing. Cowboys in a canter.
Yep. And you always do suck up to our guest. I have
I
noticed.
just
He
tell
is.
it as it is, mister. I don't tip the Cowboys because I might win a tipping comp.
I don't know what you're referring to.
Me either.
You know, check the tapes.
Doesn't make any sense to me.
Morgan?
As always, I will always back in the boys. Stronger together, better as one.
Except for when we played Sharks earlier
So
this year.
I'm locking in the Cowboys, baby.
This will be good.
The Potato has gone the Roosters,
Yeah, right.
as we expect. The Potato's a 50-50, so you never know. Or it's a spin, really.
Have we explained a potato?
No.
Pete's tipping is so bad that we thought that a potato might be able to win. So
At least
we
beat
just,
him.
we just do a 50-50.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah, so we just spin the
Who's
potato.
winning?
I'm
Pistols
killing him.
actually picked his game up.
This is the first time I'm above 100.
Yeah.
Because this year we've gone, hey,
We forced
Pistol,
him.
a potato can beat you at tipping. And he's
Yeah.
gone, bullshit. And now he's actually trying.
They
Yep.
give me curry because one night they come over when I was doing the pot at home and I was hungry and I was just sitting at the seat and I was just eating something. Thinking, are you eating a potato? Yeah, don't you get around this? And so no, do you eat raw
just
potato?
a raw spot?
Straight
No,
up.
no,
Straight
Bit
up
of
raw.
salt on it though when it's peeled.
Oh, that makes it better.
no.
Just a bit of salt.
It's good.
That's where I went wrong. And I had a chew. No good.
Was it
It's
out
not-
of necessity? Did you have nothing else, or that was?
Oh, it was just
or was that a normal snack?
well, it's like a snack, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
No.
it's good.
Can't say I've ever.
Like you,
No one
never
has
wanted.
that.
you eat
no one
chips
has.
though.
Definitely.
Yeah,
Cooked
and-
potatoes, great.
Yeah.
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 So
Yeah.
when
Big
you
keyword
don't
there.
have time to cook, then you just
You keep putting it off, but I'm tipping the Cowboys.
Yep.
You
That's
didn't
a
think
shock.
you didn't think
That
I
is
would.
a shock.
No, because we've got a squad, and I don't. They will stand up, and we usually have a thing against the Roosters. I was going the Cowboys the whole time, not because Ben's here.
I guarantee if we'd lost last week to the Tigers, he'd be tipping Roosters this week.
We got
Guarantee
Burnsy
that.
in.
Yeah, actually, I probably would because
Yeah.
if we lost to the
'Cause you're a
Tigers, it means
turncoat.
that means that our defense didn't improve, but it has improved.
You're unbelievable.
What? It's a tipping comp.
All right.
Tip with your head, not with your heart. It's like gambling.
You always tip with your heart.
Bill.
Always your heart.
Yeah, go on the Cowboys.
Yeah, we knew. Just because he's right beside you, you don't have to
Yeah.
let him influence you. It's all good.
What a suck up.
Not winning from where I am, so
Yeah.
Well, after getting one last week, nor am I.
The other good thing about this week is that we don't have to watch Brisbane play. They've
That's
got
a
the
plus.
bye straight after a loss, which was, it's a good weekend when the Cowboys win and the Broncos lose.
We'll free up a
Yeah.
Thursday or Friday night slot anyway.
Yeah, exactly.
Does that annoy you?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yep.
I understand. But as said earlier, broadcasters, they pay the cash and they put them on because the most people watch them. So I understand it.
Do you think though it wouldn't matter if you're a Friday night 7:30 game because they don't play at the 6 p.m. Eyeballs are going to be watching Friday night footy regardless.
They don't do it for no reason. So,
Yeah.
and their numbers are better than every other club, and from what you hear, quite considerably. So I get it. I understand it. Channel 9 pay the big cash to get the primetime games, and they want who's going to watch. So I understand it. It's more just from the continuity of when they play, I guess. That, more than likely going to be a Thursday or Friday night, but good luck to them. They're the biggest club in the comp, and everyone else should try and catch them.
Yeah, fair enough.
Cowboys will get a lot of regional though, right? Out to Mount Isa and up in the Gulf.
Yeah, our numbers pretty good.
Yeah.
And we're always pretty well represented on Channel 9.
Yeah, surely.
Which is good.
Is that is that another thing that sort of comes under your
No,
scope?
and we don't have any control over it. We just we see the draw about. I don't know. handful of
I mean things like ratings.
No,
No, doesn't
not really. It doesn't like we get it back as a club, and it's good for. I guess where it's important for us is sponsorship.
Yep.
So the more people that are seeing the sponsors on your jerseys, the better for your your sponsorship revenue and that sort of stuff. But in terms of for the media side of things, no, it's more the day to day getting reported on that. We get a score back from the NRL on, and we sort of like to keep that always pushing up.
Yep.
But the ratings, it's good to have more people watching because it's good for your sponsors and that sort of stuff. But it's not something spend a lot of time. Well, I don't in my job.
It's probably not something you've got a whole lot of control over anyway.
No,
so, yeah.
like when I first started, I think the first year we had something like 16, 17 Channel 9 games. That was all because of JT. And then that stayed pretty high for a long time because people loved to watch Jace as well.
Yep.
Channel 9 would say that Taumalolo was it always attract big numbers. But we've even in, a couple of lean years around in between that, we've always held on to a pretty good amount of Channel 9 games, which is good.
Does TV ratings, obviously you're going off that, but does streaming on devices count through the NRL these
It's all
days?
factored in, yeah. So that'll, like, Fox will put out a figure, I'm pretty sure, around, like, how many watched it on there or how many watched it on KO, and they'll give a combined figure and, that sort of stuff. But 9 Now and all that, we're involved in all that. So as long as they're watching it,
Yeah, so there is a difference. They do have a KO one, a Foxtel one, a 9 Now one.
But then they'll put out a combined figure as well.
Yep.
But like I guess going back to the original question, it only annoys me if the Broncos out of jealousy because I wish it was us.
Yeah.
So good on them. Good luck to them.
In saying that, would you? But the Saturdays would preferably for us, though.
It would be hard in terms of if all our home games were Thursday. We probably actually wouldn't want that.
Yeah.
I guess the continuity of draw would be the best thing for us if we knew we had every Saturday 7:30. Or every Saturday 5:30, because Saturdays are our preferred time slot because of how far people are travelling. So we prefer them Saturday games over the others because it gives people a better chance to get here. Probably more mean that like they know generally when they're going to be playing. That from a purely footy point of view would be it's an advantage.
Yeah.
And 6 and 7 day turnarounds every week.
I've never actually looked too deeply into that. I don't think they would let them get away with less 5 or 6 day turns than anyone else. I'm sure someone would have kicked up a stink about that if they did.
Plenty of fans do anyway.
Yeah. So I don't know. It may have, and I don't have the figures there, but I would imagine it would still it just feels like they're on every Thursday and Friday night, especially when they're at home.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, they are at home all the time as well, so that doesn't help.
Speaking with that, and I know I've touched base with you in the past, with Magic Round, how they play away, do they take anything on the gate with that? Or
Broncos?
Yeah, the Bronx, yeah.
No, I wouldn't think so. So the NRL would do they need 8 teams to give up a home game. So they obviously need a financial incentive, but the Broncos wouldn't. They're an away game for that because they don't need to give up a home game because they sell 35,000, 40,000. So they actually wouldn't want to because they'd probably get less money.
Yep. Which I know I've spoken to you in the past, but just to give a bit of listeners, like we were talking about like a mini Magic round, like we couldn't get 8 teams up in Townsville, but like a Queensland round, so to speak, with a Titans, Dolphins and a Cows all on a Saturday. That you don't think that would ever fly because of logistics and ticket sales?
Don't get me wrong, it'd be awesome, and I'd love it too. It would be awesome. I know back when the Nines was still going that they struggled to lock in a Nines up here because for the Nines you get any event where there's a large travelling crowd, there's there's a little bit of an issue with the amount of hotel beds here. So I guess that is an issue, and Townsville's growing, so hopefully that's something we'd be able to overcome for sure. And then, the other side of things is you need 4 teams to give up a home game to come up here, so the NRL needs to make a financial incentive for them. And I guess that's increased at Magic Round because they can seat 50, so the NRL just have to work out the financial side of things, if it's over a whole weekend, then great, they can sell out our stadium 3 times and, that's 25 every time. So there's just a lot of different things that go into it. It's getting the teams to give up home games. There's, beds, there's all that sort of stuff. But I tell you, if they could make it work, that'd be magic and we'd love it.
Yeah. Just for those listening at home, we're talking about Broncos Warriors on a Friday night, and then on a Saturday you'd have Titans versus someone, Dolphins versus someone, then Cows headlight and have like a Queensland mini Magic round up here. And
And, someone like, I don't know, said the other day when text, like the Titans might, give up a home game. But, the teams that sell big tickets every week, it's hard to incentivise them to give up a home game. And then I guess someone like us who we're contractually locked into 12 home games here a year. So like people sometimes talk about why don't we take a game here? Why don't we take a game there? Well, we're locked into 12 here, and that was part of the stadium getting built.
How long is that for?
Yeah, I don't know the answer to that. That certainly above my pay grade, that one. But I know just that's the case at the moment.
Because I no doubt you've been asked 1,000 times, like, we're North Queensland Cowboys, how come we don't have a game in Cairns? How come we don't have
everyone understands the question. 100%. But that's just part of it at the moment, that we've got this great asset here that we're so lucky to have in North Queensland. And we're We play a 12. That's why we always take out trials. We'd never play a Townsville trial. Like we go to Cairns or Mackay, alternate that, and that's awesome. All that money that comes in those games stays there with the rugby league associations there with the Pride and the Cutters as well. But yeah, that's just the situation we're in. I'd love to play. I love going to Cairns.
Yeah,
it's great. Love going to Mackay. It's a great city too. So
love when Souths take a home game against us to Cairns.
Yep.
Do you get much backlash with that when that was happening? That how come Souths can take one up here but we can't? And
a little bit, and you understand it too, and probably for that reason that people don't understand that we just can't. At the moment, but we are North Queensland Cowboys, and you understand why the question comes, and we spend, a lot of money, a lot of time through different avenues throughout all of North Queensland. It's just that we play our home games here, but other than this is where we play out of, we are spread out pretty equally everywhere else in terms of everything else we do around pathways and community and all that sort of stuff. It's just that we play out of here, and that's just how it is at the moment.
All right. Well, we might move on to Supercoach and get that out of the way because bloody Supercoach. I don't like it. Yeah, no, it's horrible.
I'm out. I'm out of Supercoach.
I know you're out. Big Willie and Mike Hunt is leading the competition still, 14,148 points. And look, it's tight all the way down till 6th, which is Keggers, 13,162. 1,000 points difference. We're only around 13. And we're just getting into the origin period where half your players are not playing or benched.
Time to trade.
Yeah, a lot of trades need to happen. I'm in 11th. Pistol, you're in, you're not last.
That's good.
Yeah, the Hounds of Justice in 22nd.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah, and now the guy down the end of the Oak Valley Chooks, sorry, because I was looking for your name there. Oak Valley Chooks, you're in 14th. You're actually catching me, or I'm falling. I don't know. It's one of the two.
Edging slowly.
Yeah, slowly. All right, very good. Could the next couple of weeks, who knows what happens. Supercoach, I always don't mind it until this time of year.
Yeah, I can't feel the side.
It kills me. It's horrible. Anyway, that's Supercoach. And this is where the rest of us can sit back and relax and enjoy ourselves and let our voices rest.
Oh, this is going to be good.
Oh, yeah, it will.
Yeah, this ain't failing this week. All right, we're back for another one. It's Pistols Multi, brought to you by Fusion Networks. IT guru over here, Benny. If you need any data solutions done at home or around the office, if you've got a data rack, switches, websites, anything, you can remote access in this guy. He's amazing. Morgan at Fusion Networks. We're going for a bit of a nibble one this week, if I can pull it up. Morgs, have you got it there?
I actually do.
No, I found him.
You got it? Okay,
yep.
Fantastic.
That was professional. My run sheet died on me just then. No, we're just going for a simple 6-legger. So we're going Mulatalo and Sivu anytime try scorers in the first game. Armstrong and Joshiato Carr anytime try scorer in the next game against Knights and Dogs, obviously. Xavier Savage to cross the strip along with Kyle Felt. Look, $20 power played is $1,228.55 for a turn. So not bad value. I have gone a second one as well. And we've got Eels, Raiders, Cowboys, and Queensland to win this week. It's paying 60 to 1 power played. Get 20 on that, you won't go wrong.
Ben, if Pistol doesn't start winning this multi, I might take my $20 a week. Can you put me in touch with the sponsorship team? I might just send it your way instead of towards.
I love that you say a simple 6-leg multi.
That is simple for us. That is simple. Yeah.
Well, have a look at it. Sharks and Eels, Mulatalo and Sivo, they're pretty much locks out on the wings.
It's more just that 6 legs. One is hard enough.
It's very difficult.
Good on you.
But do you really want to put like $1.80 favourite? No, we're here to make some cheddar.
We're going big.
We're
going
going
big.
big.
I like it.
Armstrong,
Go home.
David Armstrong scored 3 against the Titans at Magic Round for the Knights.
He goes good.
Josh Adokar, those two are going to both score. So we're 4 from 4 now. Xavier Savage, he's a lock for the Raiders. You know, they're playing the Dolphins. He'll cross the strip. And then Cowboys felt.
Geez, you've sold it.
Kyle Felt.
Yes, he's
It
got
makes sense. It makes sense.
Kyle Felt always crosses. Look, he had 2. He almost had 3.
I have to admit, I got on your one last week, and
It was close.
it was close.
Last week was the whole Cowboys backline plus Nanai and 30 plus.
Who didn't get over?
Muzz, Drinky, Viella, and 30 plus.
But it was close.
He was up there.
It's closer than some of the other ones
Yeah.
we've had this year.
Yeah, and at 20-0 after 15,
Oh, I thought we were on.
that would have rolled on. They all would have crossed.
Yeah, well,
Yeah, just need to keep up the momentum.
yeah.
It's paying 4.5 too.
Better luck this week, mate.
Get on that. That's a certainty. That's a lock.
Absolutely.
All 6 try scorers are guarantees this week. It's
Absolutely.
buy round. It's
course.
you can't beat it.
Yep. So a question we ask all of our guests. There's actually 2, but the first one is: you're on a deserted island. You can take 2 players with you.
Yep.
Pick 2 players who you would definitely take, and 2 players who you most definitely would not want with you on that island.
Ooh.
And there are players who tend to come up.
Yes, there are. Any player from past or present.
Past or present.
Preferably a present one. Throw them under the bus. Doesn't hurt.
Is there anything on the island?
Well,
Like,
Oh, it's a deserted.
like have they got?
There's
Is
a
it?
couple
You
palm
know,
trees.
have they got? Is there a
There's no
buried
golf.
stash of grog or anything like
No
that?
golf course.
It's like
it's the island from Lost.
Okay.
who's it? The Lost Island. I was going to say it's Pirates of Caribbean 1 without the rum.
Or maybe either
I'd take Hesse because there'd be moments where there'd be times where it gets down the dumps and he'd be a lot of fun, and then I'd probably offset that with someone pretty quiet.
Bit braver.
Yeah, yeah, that'd be a good combo. And then the ones I wouldn't have, I'll Macca for sure.
Really?
You wouldn't have Mac.
Nah, he's too grumpy. And then probably Mitch Dunn, just pest.
Yeah, right. Pest.
Pest.
Well, that's new.
That's
Different, yeah.
A lot of people will take Macca because he can fish and
Yeah, well, I got the breather for that.
yeah, right.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then Hesse just for the enjoyment. Like I'd probably be sometimes where Hesse's got a good up and down. Like he's fun when he needs to be, and then he's quiet when he needs to be. So I think he'd be good.
Yeah.
We make our own fun at times, and then you got the breather for being a good bloke, and he's handy and resourceful, and then
Righto.
He's
Yeah.
a chippy,
But he
isn't
doesn't have
He
a
is a
tool
chippy.
pouch on him, though.
no, but he'd still know how to get things done, and then but yeah, I don't need Macca.
Fair enough. Okay. We just like to ask. It
a
gives
good
us a
question.
good insight. We like it. And the other one is
If I could throw one more in there, the last person I'd want on there with me would be Maloney. I room with him when we go
really?
away. So.
Just what is Maloney actually like?
No, he's awesome.
I-
He just gets really he just gets excited sometimes.
I'd love to just have a sesh with him.
We'd like that too. He loves a beer. No, in all seriousness, when he talks footy, you just drop everything and listen. He's awesome. Yeah. Just sometimes when you have a beer with him, you want to cut your ears off.
Does the high-pitched rustic laugh or anything just wear you down at times? Or
I must say, when I found out I was rooming with him, I was like, because I like my peace and quiet, like my own sort of space and own time, and I was like, oh, how's this going to go? Like, am I going to be ready to kill him by the end of the year? But no, he's good in there. Like he's almost like a little puppy dog. When there's a lot going on around him, he gets really excited and really loud. But no, he's good. He's fun. He's cheeky. But when he switches on and talks footy, there's not too many I've enjoyed listening to as much. And then he'll snap out of it and start talking about some other rot, and then switch in between. But he's as mad as advertised. There's no doubt about that. But he's been great, and his footy intelligence and his competitiveness, and you can just like. I know Toddy told the story at the launch, but we played golf with him that day, and he got bored when we were in front. I was his teammate, and then we ended up 2 down with 2 to play, and he said, "This is where we want to be." Like this, he came alive, and then we won the last 2 holes and won a playoff hole. But that you could just see what he wanted to be in the fight.
So he threw a couple, just said, "This is boring."
But you can just see what made him so good, and he's been great. He's been awesome to have around.
And you got him for next year as well, don't we?
I think he was 3 years.
Oh, is he 3? Yeah,
Pretty sure
cool.
3, yeah.
Yeah, 3 years when he came on. So, he's good. And he's awesome for Tommy Dearden as well.
How's I suppose, should just ask him, but how's the wife and kids settling in up here with it all?
Morgs with Jimmy.
Maloney,
yeah, they're good. They're good. Yeah, they're a fun family. Jess, she's good value as well, and they got 4 kids, and like I haven't been to their home, but I'd imagine it's pretty full on. But they seem to love it and enjoy it. He said he would only, because they've moved around so much for him. He just said it was, once he finished playing, it was he'd go where Jess wanted to go, and this opportunity came up, and she said, "Yeah, let's go." And they're making the most of it. Their kids are all into sport, and they seem to be really enjoying it.
Yeah, cool.
Cool. Other question. Morgs over here does some pie reviews. He's done a couple. But yeah. So what would be, if you a bit of a pie connoisseur yourself?
Yeah, I love a pie.
Where would be your, or what would be your pie? What's your go-to pie?
This is the most important question of the night.
As in bakery or type of pie?
Both. Well,
Oh,
both.
both.
Your type of pie first.
So always, like, as a younger bloke, was always cheese and bacon, but I've gone more towards pepper steak or curry as I get older.
My man, pepper steak.
Pepper steak. And then where from?
Well, we go to, I don't know if it's coincident or not, we go to Mal's once a week.
Right. Wrap it up.
Yeah.
You're the best guest we've ever had.
So me and Mark Taviani, he works at the club as well. We go there on a Wednesday. Get any range of thing.
Nice pies, you can't go wrong.
Yeah, they're great.
Best pie shop in Townsville.
Yeah. The pies at White's are good too, but I normally get a roll or something when I go there. But yeah, Mal's would be where I frequent the most, or a Noomba Bakery, whatever. Yeah.
Mouse pies. Mouse pie is number 1. That's my tipping comp name.
So there you go.
I go the cottage pie, the potato pie, and the pepper steak pie.
Yep.
Can't go wrong with those.
Tav reckons, and he is a pie connoisseur. I don't know if you know Tav, but he reckons, I think it's the pork and gravy pie. I've
had a pork one,
and he is he knows food, and he's eaten everywhere lots of times. But he reckons, and he looks like he has too.
That's my problem. I need to study.
Yeah, he reckons he really rates a pork and gravy pie. I've never got it, but yeah, that's.
Do yourself a favour. It is actually good there.
Oh, fantastic.
Gravy. All right, keep that in mind. Put that in your calendar. We need a review.
I just want to talk about pies now. That's all I want to do.
Pies.
Well, I had the lamb and rosemary at Mix Pies. I was up Cardwell work the other day, and lamb and rosemary at Mix is worth a shout.
Very good. All right, last thing on the run sheet for tonight, our playlist. You want to add to it, Pistol?
I do.
Please do.
I've gone 7 years by Luke Graham.
All right. You want to hum a few bars?
Once I was 7 years old.
Okay. Yeah, right.
I know
Very
that song.
good. Great. All right, Morgan.
I've gone something a bit off kilter this week. Are you a UFC fan by any chance?
I like the spectacle, but I don't follow it.
Yep,
So if there's a big one on, I'm happy to go down the pub and watch it.
Yep.
But I don't know many of the fighters, or only really if there's a big Aussie bloke in it, I'll know the name. But I appreciate the spectacle of it all. I think they do a good job with
So
it.
you're more into WrestleMania instead?
No.
Not really. No, that's a different.
My brother
kind of
was obsessed with wrestling growing up, so I did watch it a bit, but I don't not anymore.
No tides. Righto.
Well,
moving on from
he
that.
grew up.
It's
not scripted.
It's entertainment, mate.
That's it.
Is it scripted?
This week,
It's scripted.
Yeah,
It's not fake. It's scripted.
it's
Leave me alone.
sport entertainment. This weekend, grab a mouse pie. There's a big fight. Dustin the Diamond Poirier is trying to finish the story. He's going up for the lightweight belt against Islam Makhachev, the champ. And his walkout song is "The Boss" by James Brown, which is kind of like a bit of a catchy, cool, old, funky song. So I reckon I've gone that. "The Boss" by James Brown.
All right.
And I cannot hum a bar.
Okay.
At all.
Me either. I'm going to go mental as anything. Live it up.
Good for you.
That's it. Yeah, that's. I'll just put it out
I
there.
can't really say I know that song off the top of my head.
And I'm not going to sing it,
Doesn't
but
if you look it up.
I'll play
We'll
it
check it
later
out
for
after.
you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just
Alright.
well, it's in the playlist now, so just play the playlist.
We'll get on it. Actually, you know what? The boys getting if they need some pump up during the week in the gym, get on the playlist.
On the Ranch playlist,
On the
volume
Ranch.
3, yeah.
Yeah, volume 3.
Nice.
It's our 3rd year. Have you got a song? Is there a particular song?
I'm
that's
not
been
a
playing?
big music man, which my missus hates. I don't listen to it much at all, to be honest. I like Billy Joel.
Yes.
We Didn't Start the Fire or something like that.
Yeah.
What was
It's
that?
a favourite.
The river. Did he have a cool river song in the
In the
river?
River of
Yeah.
Dreams.
Yeah.
In
But
the middle of
Billy Joel's cool.
probably a really I like it, and I like it on when I'm having a good time. But like a lot of times in the car, I sit in silence. To be honest, I'm weird like that.
Really?
Yeah.
No podcast, not even...
Sometimes it just depends
Country
what
hour
I'm
or anything
feeling.
like that?
Depends what I'm feeling. Yeah, podcasts sometimes, but I don't know. I've gone right off music as I got older. I don't know. The older I get, the more I'd like quiet. Because, Andrea likes to have a chat at home too. So,
I
yeah.
I
Say
actually
no
can-
more.
Yeah.
I can completely relate. Sometimes there's nothing better
Yeah.
than just a peace and quiet in the car.
Yeah.
And it's the only time where you get just silence and you get to sort of be with yourself.
None
I'm-
of you have
I
tinnitus,
understand.
do you?
Well, actually, I do.
Very good.
But no, I do like podcasts and when I'm at work and stuff or mowing the lawn. But I don't know. It's strange. Going off music or just listening to it much as I get older.
No, I went through a period of that. But yeah, into it more now, but the older stuff, hence mental as anything. But yeah,
What would be your podcast you listen to?
probably on the ranch.
On the Ranch, obviously.
definitely
Yeah.
top of the tree.
Can see why
We
that would
met
be the case.
we've met the blokes from Two Flogs a couple of times. Have you listened to that?
yes.
They're champion fellas.
I think Billy's a fan. Yeah,
Listen to them every week.
Yeah, they're good fellas. We met them through Toddy. Gibbo was his cousin of one of Toddy's mates, and we've caught up with them for a beer a couple of times. So they're great. I find it funny, and as I was saying before, with the sports stuff, really depends how we're going. Like if we're battling, I'll try and not listen to any footy stuff. I'll try and go something with a bit more humour. But if we're going good, I'm listening to everything.
Yeah.
I'm on the Triple M and anything that's going on. It's just we ride the roller. Like that's what we all call it at work, the roller coaster, and we just ride it hard. So
Do you get on the Hello Sport Boys at all?
I've never listened to them. No, everyone. I can't. You would be the 50th person that's asked me that question. I don't know why I never have because everyone that's told me said they're great.
They are good humour. Yeah.
No, I never have. Yeah.
all right,
Fair.
very good. All right, well, we might wrap it up there. Thanks very much for coming on.
Pleasure.
Dan.
Anytime.
It's good to get a totally different perspective. I guess your job is vital, but it's just not one we really think of. You're not
No,
front of house, I suppose.
Normally I'm the one lining these things up rather than going on them. But no, I've enjoyed it. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, no, thanks very much. Can we find you on any? Do you make yourself available for Instagrams?
No. And again, much to the annoyance of my missus, but I don't really post or anything like that. So I use the Cowboys Twitter to keep up with things. That's about it.
That's fair enough. That's a good
Otherwise, I
idea.
try and stay off it.
Just a burner account.
I use it purely for work purposes to keep. That's the quickest way to find out what's going on. But other than that, no.
That's a good to tune out of it anyway for
Yep.
most of the time. On the Ranch NQ is where you'll find us on Instagram and Facebook. And Morgan Holmes Evans,
Yes, Morgan Holmes Evans and
All
Fusion
one-
Networks.
all one word, Fusion Networks.
Yes.
Thanks very much. And Pistol Blazing, no, on the spot.
On the spot.
Which actually, which we just took out of a suspension. The page was suspended. We had no idea.
Yeah, nor did I. Nor did I.
Yeah, being admins, it just didn't tell us. So
You'd think it
anyway, it's out of suspension now. So do a video, and people might actually see it.
There will be one this week, I guarantee it.
Oh, look out! That's good to know.
Now, backs to the wall.
Yep.
We're down on Troops.
All
It
right.
writes itself.
Just
this does.
save it for the video. Thanks very much. XRBob on Twitter, that's me, or call it X, whatever. And very, very thanks again, Ben.
No worries at all.
Thank you so much.
And
Over.
Yep.
up the Cowboys.
Go the Cows.
Go the
Thanks
Cowboys.
for coming in too, Ben.
Thanks, Bill.